the children!
Hey everyone, thank you for joining us for the Friday night rant. I don't know, I may have to tone down that entrance because wow, that was really loud. But I got several guests for us tonight. I've got Marty, Kuhrt, my usual wingman for a Friday night, and I've got.
Somebody please think of the children.
Yeah, if you can recognize that voice there, and we got Josh from Orco Gunworks, and we later on we're going to get Chris Castleman and Denesa Raines on here to talk about their situation with the Republican Party. But Josh, you asked Jennifer got in contact with me and asked me to call you over at the shop, and you said that you were having some problems that you wanted to talk about, and I said, sure, I don't even need to hear it. Let's go. And here you are. So what's going on? What's happening?
All right, so back in it looks like November of 2023, I had a customer come in to do a transfer on a firearm, and while he was there, he saw a gun we had on the shelf that was used and said, "That's my gun. It was stolen from me while I was in the hospital having a stroke." And of course, you know, all guns look the same. Sure, we don't believe him at first, but he didn't just identify the gun. He identified the soft case that it came in on, and it was, you know, like a Navajo style from the 70s. So he pretty much proved it. So we called the Coos Bay Police Department, and they sent a person down to take a report. And he explained everything that happened, and I gave them a copy of all of the forms that we do when we buy a used firearm. A copy of this person's driver's license, and then anytime someone says something like, "Oh, I inherited it," or something like that, I asked for a copy of a death certificate and a will, just because my thought process was, if they really are sketchy, they're just going to leave. They're not going to. Well, these people apparently were well versed at being sketchy, because they came back the next day with a forged will and somebody's death certificate. But I had copies of all of that. So we provided this to the police department, and they submitted it to the district attorney's office. And the district attorney's office no actioned it because it hadn't, the firearm supposedly, or what I was told at the time was because the firearm hadn't been reported stolen with the appropriate office, which would have been the sheriff's department. The person it was stolen from said he tried to report it stolen. He called it in, but the sheriff's department wouldn't do anything. And the sheriff's department says that they don't even have a record of him calling. So it takes almost a year for me to finally get this person to bring proof of purchase so we can get it listed as stolen with the sheriff's department. And finally, he just said, "Here's my email. Here's my password. You find it." And I did. I actually go through his email, and I find his original purchase order and receipt with the serial number for the firearm. I immediately call the sheriff's department. They send out a deputy. I talk to him, and then I get the original owner of the firearm on the phone, and he's able to make the appropriate report with the sheriff's department. I get a case number, and then a couple months later, I get another no action because they don't have reason to believe that this person knew it was stolen. Really? What was the death certificate for? What? And I then here recently, which really pushed me over the edge, was not requested, but forced to be a witness for a person that the Coos County District Attorney decided to press charges against. They pressed charges against a young woman for being in the vehicle with her boyfriend, and her boyfriend owned a gun because she was a felon. There were no fingerprints on the firearm of hers. There was no indication that she had ever handled or touched the firearm. She did not drive the vehicle. He was not ever away from it. There was no reason for this, and it went to a jury trial, and the jury deliberated for a grand total of 8 minutes before they came back with a not guilty verdict. And I'm pretty sure that they did this just to grind some salt in the wound. I get a check to cover my half a day's loss and mileage out there and back again for $8.47.
Yikes.
And if the district attorney would be here, I would very much like to give them this check back, preferably in a northbound manner from a southbound position.
So how did you get involved with this? The lady in the car. Well, how did you witness this?
I sold the gun to her boyfriend.
Mm.
And so they had me come in to say, no, I didn't sell it to her. I sold it to him. I mean, I'm not an attorney, but I'm looking at this. It's like there's no jury on the planet that's dumb enough to go for this.
Right.
You have time to take 2 officers off for a minimum of a half, if not a full day, at least one district attorney, and then force at least one of her family members to be a witness and her attorney to take an entire day to devote to this. And you can't take care of a stolen gun? I mean, at the very least, we have these stupid laws that, while I don't agree with them, that now require background checks. At the very least, you got the person that sold me gun on that. Where was the background check?
Right. And
Nothing.
you still have the gun, right? You still have the gun.
I still have the gun. So that's the funny part. What do I do with this gun? The district, I've been told, oh, well, why don't you sell it? Really? It's okay for me to sell stolen firearms? I can sell stolen merchandise? Really? What? So I'm stuck holding a stolen property with nothing to do.
So at World Pond, if they go into World Pond, and I'm sure this is everywhere, if they see a stolen gun and they identify it as a stolen gun, they take that and the pawn store is out. You're just shit out of luck. So why aren't they coming to your store and taking that gun? That's my part.
So here's the next thing. This is pure laziness from the district attorney's office and nothing more. The second no action was also because the person who it was stolen from passed away before they could come back. And since there's no more victim, it's a victimless crime in their opinion. So therefore, they shouldn't do anything about it.
But now you're stuck in a catch-22 because you can't sell it. You really can't keep it because you can't keep it personally, right?
No. So if I transfer it to me, that would be accepting stolen merchandise. That is, as far as I understand, that's a bad thing. And as a firearm owner, the ATF would very much like to talk to me about something like that if I were to do it.
So literally, you've got a permanent wall hanger for your business.
That is correct. So I had this permanent wall hanger, and I was okay with being out. You know, don't get me wrong, I'm not happy about it. Right. I was resigned to the fact that I had lost my money. Okay, but maybe at least that sacrifice would possibly get one of these people who are. And so here's the fucking worst thing. If I tell you their names, suddenly they have a civil suit against me for defamation for a crime they have not committed.
Right. Allegedly. Everything's allegedly because they have
So up until the point where they asked for something with 6 zeros behind it.
And this is from the DA's office that has way more cases than they can handle and not enough assistant DAs to handle things. And then they spend all this time and effort to do something that the jury went like 8 minutes of deliberation going, why did you bring this to court? So
exactly.
And the woman who you were witness for saying that she didn't actually purchase, that was literally a victimless crime as well. And yet
that wasn't even a crime.
That wasn't even a crime, right?
So I don't understand how, one, I wasn't there. So maybe there were some extenuating circumstances.
Right.
And because I was a witness, I wasn't allowed to actually go inside and see what was going on. So I didn't get to see any of the other evidence I didn't get to see body cams. I didn't get to hear what the officer said. Now, one of the officers is one of my customers. So I'm hoping that when he comes back, I can grill him a little bit and he'll say, hey, this is what actually happened. And maybe it'll make some sense. I mean, maybe they mouthed off. Maybe they were aggressive. Maybe they were doing something. Maybe there was a reason that they were targeted for something. I don't know.
Yeah. And yeah, there may be, like you said, some extenuating circumstances. They were being followed for another crime. They were involved in other stuff. Who knows? So, that's a hard one.
I was stuck outside talking to the young woman's mother. And I mean, while I was talking to her, of course, mom's going to say she didn't do it. It's not her fault. And I'm sitting there going like, yeah, right, lady. Know your kid. Right. So then I talked to the dad and he has the exact same story. And then I hear about the 8-minute deliberation time, and suddenly I'm like, wow, maybe I shouldn't have sold mom. Maybe I shouldn't have sold mom short. Now, don't get me wrong. I was polite. I didn't say anything because I know better.
Right.
First impressions are wrong more often than they're right.
Yeah.
But,
no, you're usually right. Yeah, it's usually you get that first impression. You get, especially down where you're at. People. You're a good judge. First off, you already deal with customers on a regular basis, but you're in a type of neighborhood where you have to read people pretty damn well in your business.
believe it or not, since I've moved in, our neighborhood's gotten a lot better. There's not nearly as much stuff going on near the shop as there was when I first purchased it.
So how do you stay in business with all the gun laws that Oregon has passed? I mean, it's just crazy with what they're doing.
It's becoming very, very difficult. Well, first, our transfer fees have had to go up to cover how much time it takes. I have to use software to keep track of the sales so that I can actually leave the building. Another guy who was a local gunsmith, he was telling me before they quit that while his dad was in the hospital, quite literally on his deathbed, that I got a call from the ATF for a trace. And he said, hey, I'm not going to be able to get to it till Monday. It was like 3 days away because I'm at the hospital. My dad's dying. And they told him, you'll do it in 24 hours. We'll break your door down, which is terrible. And what's really bad is so far, everybody I've dealt with the ATF has almost literally bent over backwards to help me stay within the bounds of the law. Every agent I've dealt with has been Johnny on the spot with showing me where to look in the handbook. I mean, they're careful not to give legal advice, but
Right.
they want me to do it the right way. And don't get me wrong, I'm going to come across that same person that called that gunsmith eventually because,
Right.
well, they're people and that's what people do.
And really, it's not the ATF agent that's caused this problem. It's federal and state legislation that has caused all this bullshit and nonsense to gun dealers.
We have so many laws. We have, I would say, at least one denial a month now where somebody comes in to do a gun check and they get denied. And the funny part about it is I would say only one a year at most is a legitimate denial. And the way we can tell it's legitimate is that a law enforcement officer actually shows up to get paperwork. It's not a joke.
Yeah, I can believe it.
They deny people left and right.
That is sad.
And then
what's the time limit now on what's the turnaround time on getting approved usually?
So right now it's been somewhere between 5 minutes and an hour, depending on what's going on. But there's still anybody actually with today's technology, anything over 30 seconds is unacceptable. With rare cases, the ability to do, I mean, if the officer following me knows whether or not I'm allowed to have a gun when he pulls me over, they should know whether or not I'm allowed to sell a gun.
Yeah.
If someone has a felony or a violent crime on their record, it should literally be, there's no reason in today's society with how supposedly technologically advanced we are, that is not a thing.
I totally agree. Yeah.
And then our state, when they are required to do research into something, they only hold the research for up to 4 years and 8 months, using the excuse that they're not allowed to keep gun sales on record. Sure, of course you're not. You shouldn't be. You shouldn't have any idea what somebody has, because then you're going to go after them with a preconceived notice of danger that you don't need to have. You don't need to know what they have. There is a check system in place to try and make it so that you can trace it when it's found, but you don't need to know beforehand, because then you'll come after or at something from the wrong position.
Ashley is asking, this is a great question because I often wonder this myself. I have a concealed carry. Shouldn't my purchase for a new firearm be approved faster than those without? Is that usually the case?
So that is not the case. And actually, it has never been the case. I've talked to a couple people with the state police, and every time somebody goes through back in the old days when there was a front of the line, which is no longer a thing, it was always blamed on a concealed carry. Well, I've had my concealed carry permit since 2003. I have never once in my life gone to the front of the line. What we do see is that when there was a front of the line, which no longer exists now, and the occasional instant or computer generated approval, that more times than not, these people work for a system that requires at least biannual FBI checks. They work for the school system. They work for the healthcare system. Never law enforcement. Law enforcement never comes back instantly.
So recently, I mean, just very recent, the Charlie Kirk assassination, the people immediately blamed the gun. They always,
Of course they do. It's always easier to blame an inanimate object rather than society.
Right. Or the person who actually committed the crime. I mean,
So the person who committed the crime is always by default guilty, but we really have to look at ourselves. And when I say ourselves, I don't just mean society, but at ourselves. We are responsible for what's happening now, and it's not because we have or operate firearms. Firearms have existed since, around the early 1400s in one form or another that we know of in Western civilization. They have existed in a cartridge system since the late 1850s in America, and they are part of what makes America America. And I mean, how many school shootings happened in 1965?
None.
I guess zero.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that society was great, but we're at a point in history like, I don't remember what show it was, but my girlfriend Rhonda was watching a show the other day, and somebody mentioned something about the America being in a better place in the 50s. And one of the people on there just lost their minds because of Black people were still being oppressed. Women didn't have equal rights. And these are legitimate things, but
Right.
it doesn't mean he wasn't also right.
Right.
You can't, just because two horrible things were there doesn't mean there wasn't also something good. So why can't we take the good that was then and combine it with our expanded ideologies of today? The idea of being self-reliant or responsible for your own actions, it doesn't mean you're racist or you're conservative. It means you're a responsible human being. And the more we blame firearms, the more rules we make against firearms. And this goes to not just firearms, but since I'm into the industry, it's the one that hits me the closest. Right. The more we blame these things, the easier it is for us to say, oh, it's not their fault, it's the guns. No, you're right. It's our fault because you didn't tell that little bastard no when he was 6 years old because you thought you'd get in trouble.
Yeah, when I was going to high school.
And I know because I'm an ex-little bastard.
Yeah, me too. Ex-little bastard.
Small town Iowa.
If I didn't get my ass whooped when I was young, I cannot believe what I would be. I would literally be like everybody else that's in Empire.
No kidding. Marty, you got a question? I'm sorry.
I was saying when I went to high school back in small town Iowa in the 70s, our high school was way out in the middle of nowhere, so everybody in the world and their pet dogs drove their old pickup trucks to school, and every single one of those pickup trucks had a gun rack in the back window, and everybody had firearms in their trucks at school all the time in unlocked trucks, and no school shootings. Not at all.
So
we were taught gun safety at an early age. We were plinking cans with rifles when we were 6 and 7 years old. I mean, it's not the gun's fault. It's who's bringing these people up to allow them to believe.
Well, it's that. And if there was a school shooter, I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
If there was a school shooter in 1960, 1970, 1980, oh hell, even 1990, somebody might have done something about it.
Oh yeah.
I watched something on the news about an active school shooting where there were officers in the school not allowed to do anything. And they had to wait until this school shooter took his own life.
There's a building in Dallas, I believe it's in Dallas, where they had a shooter this was back in the 60s, and he was up in a high tower shooting at people.
Bell tower.
And and he kept several people pinned down for hours, killed a lot of people. And this was even before I was born. And it was such a rare occurrence. It's like the only one I could remember, for a long period of time. So you're right. It's almost rare that this ever happened until recently, when I think in essence, though, society in itself has flipped the page and now worships the criminal and villainizes the hero. It's strange how
certainly. And what the really horrible thing about it is, what I see, you see when something bad happens, or anytime there's a new whatever giant change the society decides has to happen immediately and overnight and doesn't think about any repercussions. Whatever social change that is, the people with the loudest voice are catered to. Not the most people, not the greatest amount of people, not the smartest people, not the most well thought out people, not the carefulest people. Whoever whines and cries and yells the loudest, has the wildest colored hair. These are the people that we must cater to. And we forget that those 400 or 500 people throwing bricks at buildings that have nothing to do with whatever they're rioting against, who have never met the person they're rioting for, or even understand what that person was or was not doing or in trouble for, they're not the majority. They're so much of a minority that all it takes is less than 1% of the people who believe against them to stand up and say, sit down, and they'd be so outnumbered they'd have to.
Chris, you look like you might have a question for Josh. No, you're too silent. That's scary.
Well, yeah, I mean, and then we got to throw in the fact that, it's the, how schooling has changed dramatically, where, it's not little Johnny's fault, it's the school's fault, or the school is so permissive that, even in Oregon now, there is no exit exam for high school. You just have to put in your time. You don't even have to learn anything, and you'll get a high school
That's horrible.
diploma. And they're
said,
indoctrinating these people into thinking that it's okay to be a slacker, a loser, and whatever you want to do is okay. And then it's like, when it's time to be a responsible adult, they have no tools. They have no way of doing it. So
that even started back when I was in high school in the mid 90s. One of my friends who has passed away, Daryl, he couldn't read until sophomore year of high school. And he was taught by the actual dean of North Medford High School. I don't remember his first name, but his last name was Story. He was taught to read by that gentleman.
Well, I wait a minute. So if he was taught to read by the gentleman, then why wasn't he able to read, or did he teach him after that point?
No, he taught him he helped to teach him during his high school years how to read so he could finish high school and actually graduate.
That's horrible.
And so I was never sure whether he meant he couldn't read at all or he just couldn't read well enough.
Right. I know plenty of young men, and it's almost always young men, who'll come up and ask about the petition. And I say, oh, you just got to sign it. I don't know how to sign my name. What do you mean you don't know how to sign your name? I don't know how to write cursive. Do you know how to read cursive? No, I don't know. I have no clue. I said, do you know that the founding documents were written in cursive? Do you know that the most expansive amount of information and knowledge is written in cursive? They did you a disservice, is usually what I tell them, because they did.
Maybe that's why they don't get the Constitution. It's written in cursive. No wonder they don't get the Constitution.
They don't get it. Yeah. Anything else you want to tell us before I switch over to Denesa and Chris? Because they're going to be quite interesting.
No, there's not really much more I can add. I mean, I'm just stuck with this stolen gun, and there's nothing I can do with it, and no one really gives a damn.
That's wild. And now you got a permanent doorstop.
I have a question.
So I have a permanent doorstop, but I am also looking into renting a billboard. I don't know how much it's going to cost me, but I'm thinking about renting a large billboard as close to Coquille so I can put something about that, and how the DA hasn't done anything with it. I mean, I'll spend some money and I'll be a dick.
Nice.
So my
If I
question
hear
is,
anything, I'll let you know.
somebody steals your.
Speaking of, if anybody listening actually rents billboards and it's not, like $10,000 a month, please stop by Orco Gunworks and let me know what you got in mind.
There you go.
Can we
So
build
if
one?
somebody steals your stolen gun, would you report the stolen gun?
Oh, that's a good question.
What was that?
If they stole your
I said, if
doorstop.
somebody steals your stolen gun, do you have to report your stolen gun?
Well, I would report it, but I mean, apparently, would it matter?
Would it matter? Yeah. They would go, I'm
Would
sorry.
would
that
anybody
doesn't
do
exist."
anything? Would anybody care?
Are you going to use this doorstop when you open on Monday? Because I might make a trip in there.
Yeah. Now you're causing trouble, Chris. Oh, that's funny.
Hey, I'll help them build the billboard,
Right.
Steve Nye says, in business, giving a voice to the poor performing outliers is the downfall to that business. Yeah, well, ain't that the truth? Jane Brown says, they just signed their name. They did on the ODL ID. And okay, yeah, that's pretty much what I have them do. They do the old scribble, and that's whatever they register by. Most of them, if they don't sign, if they can't write cursive, they usually are not registered to vote anyway. So that's the first question we ask. So Marty knows, he's been doing petitions all week.
Oh boy, you betcha. I've been doing petitions for quite a while now. We started at the Coos County Fair, and then there was
Which petitions?
Well, we've got the let's end vote by mail. Let's go back to the 1-day old style voting system, 1-day in-person precinct level. Show up at the precinct with your ID. They give you a ballot. You go to a booth, you fill it out, you put it in a box, and next morning, everybody knows what the outcome is. And then another one is they're trying to put in toll roads, and the legislature back in 2017 said, we're just going to decide when we want to put in toll roads, and took it away from the voters. So we want to put it back in the voters' hands. And then the third thing is recall Tina Kotek, which, you know what?
Yeah, I've got that one.
We put that sign up, and we get so many people showing up. Where do I sign? I go, while you're here, sign these other two. And they're like, oh yeah, I like that idea as well. So
yeah, we have people come down to the shop who have never owned a gun, don't ever want to own a gun, but they're there to get rid of Tina Kotek. And if it makes you guys feel any better, I would say at least a third of them are blatantly Democrat and not embarrassed to admit it.
Yeah, I'm running into.
And even they want rid of her.
Yeah, yeah. It's I get that. I've gotten quite a few Democrats as well who've signed it because they want to get rid of her. Exactly the same thing. I've got Denesa. Denesa, I apologize for muting you, but I was getting such bad feedback on there. How you doing there, lady?
I'm still got bad feedback. Is it better now?
No, not at all.
She sounds like a robot.
Yeah, she sounds like she's talking through a screen door.
Wow, Denesa, that is really bad. Do you have a computer with a camera?
I'll have to leave where I'm at.
That's the worst.
It's on my phone.
It's bad, Denesa. It's really
to a
bad.
different location.
All right.
Okay, turn me off, and I'm gonna
turn
try
you.
to go.
Yeah.
Reconnect your connection from your cell phone to your router or whatever you're using.
There you
restart
go.
your phone. That's bad.
That was really bad.
And then I've adjusted my audio a slight, so maybe Michaela can hear me now. Hey, Michaela.
Yeah, I know. Michaela was bitching because she couldn't hear. I shouldn't say that. Michaela had legitimate complaints because
she was making a comment that
making a comment. Wow, that was really mean of me. Oh, Michaela's bitching over there.
Well,
She's
Michaela is
being mean.
bitching. She's one bitching lady. I mean, she's the hardest working gal I've ever met. She can go out and get things done that nobody else can get done. The hardest working woman in Roseville.
Michaela, I love you. I am so sorry. That was really horrible for me to say that.
Go sit in your corner.
Go sit in my corner. See, I know Friday night hits and it's like, what the hell? I'll just say anything.
Yeah, every time we try to put a dunce cap on him, everybody goes, he's in the KKK, so we stopped doing that. We can't put a dunce cap on Rob anymore because people take it the wrong way.
I got to put that up, and I got to go through these first. Shout out to the Democrats standing up against the failed State leadership. Jeremy says, put earbuds in. Yeah, Denesa, try your earbuds.
Yeah.
Ashley says, have her on only one device and mute everything around her besides what she signed into. Oh,
including
yeah,
Rich.
Yeah. So Rich needs to stop that. This is hilarious. Diane says, Marty sounds fine. Michaela says, LOL, I was bitching. No, you weren't. I'm just an asshole.
No,
That's what you should have wrote. No, you're just being an asshole, Rob.
We're just taking it in the wrong context. Like I said, Michaela is bitching. She's one bitching baby. She's the hardest working woman in election integrity. She does.
Oh, this is hilarious. Michael Brainerd hacked her phone. That's funny.
There we go. Yeah, I'm sure David Brock Smith is involved. Yeah,
David Brock Smith
is basically scrambling her phone. Yeah, that's it.
Reg says she's amazing. Michaela is freaking amazing. If we had more Michaelas, we could be doing such an incredible amount of work here. If we could duplicate her and get her all over the state, man, we would be tearing it up.
They cloned a sheep. Why can't they clone Michaela? I don't understand.
Yeah. I mean, if
we had a long time ago.
If we had an army of Michaelas and Denesas, we would be unstoppable. There would be no stopping us if we had an army of Michaelas and Denesas.
It can't die. I like that. Jeremy Miller says the feedback is from the audio and speaker on her phone. That's right. Denesa, if you turn off your speaker on your phone, the audio and speaker on your phone, and use the speaker through the app, I mean, not the app, but the link that you're connected to, that might work as well, because I've tried that with other people. And I think we lost Josh.
I think earbuds is a good idea, because I mean, it even, it's the problem is her phone is speaking while she's trying to speak. The phone is outputting the rest of the show while she's trying to speak, which means it can't do echo cancellation for crap that way.
That's cool. Jane Brown.
Yeah,
we will soon have many more registered Republicans. Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
Yeah.
Joshua says, thanks for letting me complain. My audio quit working, so I cut out. No problem.
Well, no, he's on for the night. He was good.
Yeah, he was really good, but he's always good. When I like going to his shop, because anything you want to know about a gun, he will know it. I mean, it's like down to the T. He could tell you what year it was made and how many times it was refurbished and all this shit. I mean, the guy's just incredible.
Not that I own guns, because the FBI is listening, but if I ever did, I might go down there and have him check some stuff out.
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't let them check anything out, because I don't own anything. Don't come here. Don't come to my house.
I don't own guns. What are you talking
There's
about?
Denesa. All right, here we go.
Is this better?
Oh, that's wait.
That's take two.
I went down the driveway. So, yes. It's been an eventful week. I can tell you that much.
Rick Coleman has an announcement. If you want to send him a link, he might want to come on here and give a little announcement. I don't want to blow it for him, but
okay.
Yeah, don't bury the lead.
He did a thing today.
Yeah.
Someone hacked my phone, apparently.
Yeah, we were blaming Michael Brainerd.
Cracks me up.
We were blaming Michael Brainerd for hacking your phone, and then we realized, oh, come on, there's no way that guy could hack a phone.
There's no way that guy.
He's hacked a party.
Yeah,
give him credit when credit's due.
Yeah, well, I have to think somebody else was running the show on that one. I mean, I'm thinking he's the puppet figurehead, and this is all being run behind the scenes, because, he can't hack a phone. I'm being short of using an actual hatchet, but okay.
I don't know.
What's our main goal? It is to grow the party. He's handicapped it intentionally.
Yeah, it's crazy. You sound like a robot again, Denesa. But not as bad.
I gotta move some more.
Do you have earbuds? Do you have any way of listening to your phone without, with a headset or something?
A headset?
Is it?
You were so good a minute ago.
Who's in the yellow? All our names went away. Hey, it's Rick. Hey, Rick.
What
Chris?
our names? I think our names went away because see,
no,
when I
they're
put a
there.
comment up, our names go away. Hey,
We're too
Rick,
tiny.
Hey, Rob.
how you doing?
Good.
I heard you filed a few papers today. Why don't you tell us about it if you're so inclined?
Yeah, I put in my PCP paperwork today. I have emailed that off to Mr. Brainerd. I never heard a response from him. Surprise, surprise. Anyway, and
He's
the other thing
stalling. He's
Yeah.
stalling.
the other thing I did, I filed to run for county commissioner, position 3.
Nice, nice.
Woo!
So who is in position 3, sir?
Rod Taylor.
Oh my gosh. Oh
Yeah, but
my
I didn't think
gosh.
I didn't think Rod was running again. I thought he said
Um,
early on he was gonna
As
do
of
it
now,
once.
he hasn't registered to
Well,
run. There's me and Rick Osborne is running for position 3 as well.
But you also got to remember the positions don't always matter, right? They're shuffling at the end. So
Right.
there's 2 open seats and there's 4 candidates right now for those open seats. So you've got John Sweet, the incumbent, and Brandy Martindale filed, Rick Coleman filed, and Rick Osborne filed.
Rick Osborne.
Rick Osborne.
Rick Osborne sits on the budget committee. So between him and John Sweet, you've got 2 out of the 6 people who have gotten Coos County into this financial mess where they're laying off sheriff's deputies, closing the jail, and they're probably going to spin it so they're somehow not responsible. But I mean, shit, that's your entire purpose on the committee, is to make the right budget decisions. And I guess it'll be up to the voters whether they're making the right decisions or not. I personally don't think that that's the right call. I think there's other places to cut before the sheriff's office, but I'm not on the ballot. So
Yeah, me and Chris got a whole new life here. We're now dedicated to bringing back precinct representation to our county, and we're
it's
going to
supporting the people who are going to take us in a better direction. Like Rick, he's putting himself out there. He's man, I don't envy you. You're on at least a 9-month journey, and then if you make it through the primary, you've got even more. Hopefully, you'd
Right.
win in the primary, and then you won't have any more. That would be the best case scenario.
right.
Like flat out win if you get over 50%. But like Rob was just alluding to, the only way we do that is if we have a strong party behind him, which we have the weakest ass party in the state right now, maybe in the entire country here in Coos County, because of an obstructionist, complete obstructionist in our county chair, Michael Brainard.
So Rick Coleman is very familiar, associated, probably friends with David Brock Smith, but I do know that they are familiar with each other. They've worked on each other.
You mean Rick Osborne?
Rick Osborne. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Did I say Rick
That's
Coleman?
Rick Coleman.
No.
You did.
Rick
I thought you were
Osborne.
being facetious at first.
No. And he, what is it? Blue Sky Strategies, I think.
Blue Ridge Strategies.
Blue Ridge Strategies. That's it.
Yeah, Blue Sky is the website for liberals, so no, I don't think
Same thing. Blue Ridge is the same thing for liberals.
He's a political consultant.
He's a political for Democrats. For Democrats,
And
I believe he's a registered Democrat.
He was billing the county $9,000 a year to write a newsletter, a monthly newsletter for the commissioners.
Yep.
This was coming out of their commissioner budget. And that newsletter contained like no new content. It was like regurgitated press releases from the sheriff's office and other information that was already out there, but just compiled into a monthly newsletter for $9,000 a year. And when they kept saying that there's nowhere else to cut, I said, what the F are you talking about? That newsletter, you guys should write it. What the hell are you doing? You guys get a salary, write your own newsletter. So they cut the $9,000 from Rick Osborne and his company, and then they stopped the newsletter. You know, they don't have time to write it. It wasn't important enough, I guess. crazy. They could have gotten a middle school intern to write that newsletter.
Yeah. They could have got AI to write that damn. Type into Grok and spit it out the other side. I mean, really.
We haven't given Rick an opportunity to say what the heck
I know.
he's running for and what he's doing, and I'm excited.
Rick, we're ranting. We're ranting. Go ahead, Rick, please.
We bring on a guest
No,
and then we
I'm
don't let
enjoying
them
it.
talk. I mean, that's the beauty of
no,
the show. It's like,
I just been, one of those guys kind of sat on the sidelines, and I feel the only way you're going to make some change is to try to get involved. So I'm out here trying to get involved to make some change better for all of us here in the county. It's going to start at the local levels, I do believe, and from there it'll move on up the food chain in politics, hopefully, and we can get some balance and things like that back in the country, and like I said, at the local level first. So that's what I'm hoping to bring and help get going and back here in our neck of the woods.
That's a damn good reason to me. It's like the best reason for someone to get involved.
Absolutely. And I'm not sure if Rod was running. And then when I heard that Rick Osborne was running, I was wondering if we were going to have someone from a more conservative slant step up. And I'm curious who DBS is going to endorse. That's going to be interesting.
Oh, I'm sure it won't be me. He didn't endorse me in the last thing I ran for. He didn't endorse me. Matter of fact, he endorsed my opponent, a Democrat.
Yeah. And we have a little bit of news on the reason that Chris ran after them is that they were supporting or backing a superintendent who hired a sex offender who is now. Have you heard this story, Chris, that he's now working as head of the GED program?
I have been contacted by several people over the past week about some new stuff that has been developing, and it is terrible, and I can't really talk to it all right now. I'm trying to get it all, what do you call it? Scrutinized. Yeah. So, not good stuff. I'm being contacted by parents of minors who are very concerned with some situations at the college.
Yes.
So they put him back. They put him back in charge of the GED program after they removed him, the day before the election?
Yep. And I heard good things for the first month or two. People, employees had contacted me and said they have not seen him at all on campus. It's been amazing. They don't feel nervous on campus. They don't feel nervous for the students. And then all of a sudden, this past week or two, in the past couple of days, I've been getting a lot of information. So, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't very good at all. And I just, when I heard it, I was just blown away because the first thing I thought is, remember when this just happened with Henry Delaney? It's like, how many times does this have to happen before these people get a freaking clue? I mean, how many children have to have their innocence stolen before these officials are punished for making these bad decisions? I'm just so angry about this. And then when you have a senator endorsing the people who are promoting these policies, someone needs to be held accountable for this, man.
I will be eventually. It sucks that this is how the world is right now with everything and how long things take. And we're in a big hole. I don't think we all knew how big of a hole we were in Coos County, especially on the conservative side. We didn't know how captured we were and how impossible it was to get any progress or get anything moving. You're told all the time, right? All you have to do is step up and run. You just go to the clerk's office, or you just come to a meeting and they'll listen. Everybody's here for you, lovey-dovey. We all want to hear what you have to add, and we love new people. And it's like, nope, complete opposite. Not that at all.
Right.
Yeah, it's easy to file, but when you actually try to do something, there are so many naysayers that are so afraid of stepping out and having an attitude and having an opinion that it's like we've been inculcated to the whole idea that you're no longer supposed to be an individual. You're not supposed to have any ideas. You're not supposed to speak out because you might offend the lowest common denominator. And I'm at the point now where I'm like going, if I offend the lowest common denominator or even the medium common denominator, I don't care anymore. Because the thing is I'm tired of, treading on eggshells and being, it's just like, I'm not going to go out of my way to be offensive. But if somebody's offended by the fact that I want common sense and I want things done the right way, I mean, I'm sick and tired of people that are running this clown show, and it's like they know they can get away with it because there is no, there are no repercussions for bad actions because we've had a corrupt voting system for so long, and we've had people that, it's like we have bad judges. We don't have enough DAs. We don't have enough assistant DAs. We don't have enough sheriffs. We don't have anybody to enforce this stuff. And if they do, the judges are like, oh, we'll just give them a slap on the wrist. Everything will be fine. And then it's like, so you're saying it's okay to be a scumbag. And now they're supporting the scumbags. And we're like, you know what? We just kind of need to take that back and just like, I don't know, just stand on the
That
steps of the
pedophile,
school. Yeah, just
that
stand on the
pedophile was
steps
their
of the school.
DEI hire.
Yeah.
Literally, they
Yeah.
praised the diversity of hiring somebody who deserved a second chance after molesting his minor students in a high school prior to coming back to this area.
It seems to me that society these days, and I just use that as a general term, but they're basically glorifying criminals and criminal behavior. I mean, they have way
Altruism.
more rights than we do. I went to the meeting in Lakeside when we're talking to the sheriff's department, had a meeting, and then they met with us here in Hauser about North County sheriffs, and it's going to add, if they can get it on the ballot, people to agree to try to do it, it'd be $1.11 more on my property taxes.
For a public safety
So you have-
district, just for
Yes,
the North
For a
Towns.
North
Yeah.
County Public Safety District, we'd have 3 dedicated deputies, an admin person, substation out here, and they couldn't patrol anywhere but in the North County. So it'd be, Glasgow, Hauser, Lakeside. Not a bad idea on the surface. The biggest drawback to me is we still don't have a jail to put criminals in. What good does it do them to haul them to Coquille and they're back before the guy's done filling out his booking papers? But
no prosecutors to prosecute them, no public defenders.
Right.
So they get bounced after 7 days if they don't have a defender.
Right.
Can't we just
I
put the
I talked to one of the deputies there, and I said, I don't understand some of this. Why don't you guys do something with these people? You can issue citations, you can levy fines, whatever. And he says, we can't get anything out of them. It's a waste of our paper. I said, but you don't treat me the same. If you caught me committing these acts, you can get money from me, so you're gonna stick it to me. That seems backwards to me. I should be allowed to slide if they are.
They had an article out where 68 people committed 5,000 crimes. I forget where the statistic was, and it was showing that the same people commit the crimes over and over again. It's recidivism. And if you would just lock the people, and I guarantee you the Coos County Sheriff has a list of people who are the top offenders, repeat offenders, and we should request that list. That's something we should put up. And it's the same people over and over. And after a certain point, I think after you commit so many crimes, that should elevate the next crime to such a harsh penalty. You go away for a long time. You know what I mean? Because because it's a cumulative effect. How many crimes do you commit? Does it tell it equals a murder?
Yeah, they used to have a 3
do
strikes
have
rule.
some rules that way, but again, it's
But who's enforcing
them.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a 3 strikes rule, and if you had 3 strikes, that's it. You're going to be in for a long, long time. But who enforces that? And then you have governors like, maybe Kotek or Brown. They're like, and Newsom, who are letting people out of jail who are, multiple offenders. I mean, the person that stabbed that girl on the bus or the train or whatever, he had 14. He'd been in 14 times and was out. And it's like, you know what? If you just keep them in after their third or fourth offense, crime would go down by hundreds of percents. I mean, like you said, 68 people are doing 5,000 crimes. So at some point, you just got to go throw them away and lock. Toss them in and lock up. Throw away the key. So
yeah, the worst thing about prison or jail though these days is they're going to the fun house. I mean,
I know
it's not a penalty to go to jail for these guys by any means. I mean, they got nicer things a lot of times than a lot of us do out here that are busting our hump every day.
Than their
it's
victims.
insane to me.
Right. Right. They have more than their victims. They get libraries, they get weight rooms, they get televisions, they get commissary. It's sad that they get all this stuff, because I would make them turn a wheel every day. That's your job, to turn a wheel. And at the top of the wheel would be a little ballerina. You know what I mean? Just keep turning it until you die. I don't care.
Well, just have a, it's like, okay, if you don't have the skills to stay out in society because you don't have a job, well, do job skills and put these people to work so they can pay off their debt to society and they can benefit people out in society that have been wronged by them. And now we have Denesa again. At least the top of Denesa's head.
I drove all the way to my office.
All right. You sound a lot better.
You definitely.
But you look like you're in a cave with Rant.
That's a wild looking Halloween type of.
Yes, Carolyn, we're live. We are
the
live.
Friday Night Creature feature with Denesa Raines.
Well, I'm quite the creature in Coos County.
Hey, I got an idea. We should do a prison podcast. Like once a month, we go and do a podcast with all the prisoners in the jail and ask them a bunch of questions about their life.
Interesting.
I don't know if they'll let you.
Why not? Come on.
Well, you did that show from Shutter Creek. I mean, you still have all that recording from Shutter Creek, where it's like that was a pretty swank facility for a jail.
Except the mic didn't work. Remember the mic was turned off on the guy. Yeah. So I had all that. Did you see
my worst nightmare?
Yes, it was horrible. We did an hour and a half. And
we walked around the full facility, and he had a mic pinned to him, and I was carrying a mic just in case we needed incidental noises. And for some reason, the mic on him was not working or wasn't turned on. And we get down to the whole thing, and it's like, wow, we got a lot of great shots. We got a lot of great interviews. He was telling us about everything. And then the next day, Rob was like, and the mic didn't work. And I'm like,
that really sucks. The technical difficulties. So we're going to go back. He's going to allow us to go back. And I was thinking maybe around Halloween, wouldn't it be cool to go? I was going to get a couple of us and we can all go check out Shutters Creek. I don't know if you guys are in, but I'm just throwing that out there.
At midnight?
At midnight. Yeah, that would be freaky. Yeah. And see, we know that the caretakers, and they could probably get us in. That would be really weird.
Undertakers.
They had a ghost hunters there filming at one point in time.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, we could run around. Did you hear that? No, did you hear that?
Oh, no.
Marty can be in the dark throwing stuff. And go, oh, did you hear that?
Sorry, my voice. Beware of the dark shadows.
Just throwing that.
That was pretty good. Remember that interview you did, Rob? You were holding the camera, but I had the mic on, and I think Perry had a mic on, and you walked up to somebody in a camp, and you were interviewing them, talking to them, and you had the phone, but the mics were on Perry and I half a mile away.
Yeah, that was a good
and they caught nothing but us talking and you filming some person.
And it was a great interview. The guy was spilling all this shit, and then I walk away going,
good.
Oh, I don't have the mic on me. And I'm, then we replay it and all we can hear is those two talking. So, and we definitely couldn't play that.
We are the professionals.
We are the professionals. Yeah. Denesa's joining us, and Michaela says that jail interview thing is a great idea. Michaela, I think so. I think I'm going to talk to those guys about that and see what we can do. Carolyn Cheney, thank you, Carolyn, because this takes us right into the conversation that everyone's been waiting for. And Carol Cheney, I saw I think it was yesterday. Yeah, Thursday.
We lost Rob.
Uh-oh. Yeah, he's the one running
Look at
the
his
show.
face.
Freeze frame.
We're in so much
Freeze
trouble.
frame.
Yeah.
Is it windy and banded?
So anyway, I'm sure
We
he
should
was
all
going to
make
say
fun of
something
him.
about the fact
Draw
that
penises
had
on
the
his
pop-up-
forehead.
Yeah, we had
Anybody got a Sharpie?
we had the pop-up booth at the Best
Sorry,
Western. and
I'm
he's-
sorry. I just said penis. All right,
He's been
I'm
hacked
done.
too.
We got him off. Get
Draw
out
a
of here.
phallus on his forehead.
I
with a
think we
magic
need to
marker.
cut him off from drinking.
I'm drinking a Mountain Dew because I was falling asleep.
Yeah.
What a day.
But anyway, at some point he's going to figure out he's no longer on the air. I hope. But anyway, he was.
God,
we were
I've never seen him speechless.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
It's
gone,
just-
gone.
And now it's just us.
Yeah, and he's the one running the show. We have no controls on how the show works here because we're just guests. We don't have the, we'll change it from 3 people to 4 people or add somebody or put a video in here. We don't have those buttons. So
I bet Bill
think
Taylor has an idea.
yeah,
Why-
but
why
anyway,
Rob's
we were in
gone.
Coos Bay at the Best Western on 101, and I forget the cross street, but it was funny. We showed up at 10. We had people waiting in the parking lot for us to get there so they could sign petitions. We
Damn.
had people coming. We had people coming by. There was like 3 or 4 people deep at times. We had people pulling into the lot. We had 3 or 4 cars trying to jockey for parking places. And it was funny because the trucks would drive by and honk their horns and give us a thumbs up. And we had like one little old lady in a beat up car stop, honk her horn, and flip us off. And we're like, wow.
That's crazy.
It was so
That's
fun. I
stupid.
wasn't even offended. I was just like, that is so funny. And then we had like 2 people yell at us, profanities. But other than that, it was a 99% positive crowd. We had a lot of people. I mean, we had somebody in a Tesla come up and want to sign. And I'm like, oh my God, do your friends know that you're signing this? You're driving a Tesla, But well, since it's Rob's show, I hope he comes back eventually.
I shouldn't be laughing. Should we check on him? Where'd he go?
maybe
Yeah.
we should hijack his station here.
Yeah.
He was
that's
asking Denesa, I think he was starting to say about the meeting tomorrow because Carolyn asked, are we
Yes,
having a
I'm going
meeting
to be
tomorrow?
meeting. Yeah.
And I think that's where he was going. So Denesa, I don't know if you want to talk to that.
Well, today's been very eventful. Actually, this whole week has been eventful. We got notice of a recall last week for Chris and I, and it also had not only the recall but also about doing the PCP appointments as part of the agenda. Well, I had no choice.
Oh, it looks like he's back.
You're back.
So what happened?
What do you mean? You tell us.
You passed out.
Did I black out again? It hasn't been a
We've been
week.
drinking that hard already.
Damn. No, there was this huge gust of wind and
I
everything
knew
went
it.
out, man. And so I was sitting there going, hello, Tokyo. And I was talking about Carolyn Cheney and tomorrow night, whether there's a meeting or not. So continue. Tell us, where are we at?
Well, where we're at is that I hired an attorney, Steve Jonkus, to file a claim for me, and it was a temporary restraining order from the recall, and all my grievances. And Judge Stone said he gave me and Chris the okay, and then Michael came back and put his 2 cents worth in, and which basically we got probably about 3 hours notice that we had a hearing with our attorney. Chris decided to join the case, and we filed with him jointly, me and Chris, against the recall. and Michael was on the phone with our attorney with the Judge Stone, and he did it again. The judge said he granted the temporary restraining order from the recall. Well, and then shortly after that, and I've been having calls all day long. Are we having a meeting? Are we having a meeting? Are we having a meeting? And there's been nothing. And all of a sudden now Michael is claiming to cancel the meeting tomorrow, the 13th. And basically also halting any PCP appointments, even though we've got 20 people right now that, well, is it 12? We have actually 31, or approximately 31 people that want to get appointed as PCPs, but the ones that were checked, how many were there, Chris, that actually got checked by the clerk's office today?
We're up to 17 today. The problem is certain people have the form. So like I had the vast majority of them. I had 12 or 13. I think I put in 12 today, but my printer broke and I couldn't print a few of them because people like emailed them to me. So those were the only ones I had like in hand. But I think I have 5 more that I can print out. And but anyways, they accepted them, so we're at 17. Rick turned in one today. But no, just to clarify, so Michael set up 2 meetings. There was a recall on Saturday at 6 p.m. and then he set up a normal central committee meeting at 7 p.m. after the recall, a separate meeting, and the agenda item was to review PCP applications. Okay, so you're seeing on the screen right now is the order from Denesa's lawsuit that prohibited him from conducting a recall. Okay, so that was earlier in the week. That was Thursday. Right. Then Michael rebutted and asked for an amendment to this order because the way this is worded, it applies to both Denesa and I, because it prevents a recall and it didn't specify only for Denesa. So Michael wanted it amended that it would only prohibit him from recalling Denesa and not me. He still wanted to recall me, even though the judge found that Michael was not following proper process, and that was the reason he was able to issue a restraining order, because he's not following proper process. So he brought me into the lawsuit. Now I have to join, and we had to ask the judge at 2 p.m. today. They had a hearing, and can they add me to the whatever it's called, the lawsuit? And they did, and this order was extended or re-granted or whatever you call it, and Michael's was thrown out. So yes, the recall was prohibited for both Denesa and I. Now here's the thing. Michael specifically asked the judge, asked the judge, can I have the meeting on Saturday that is just the normal central committee meeting? And the judge said yes, as long as like our lawyer was okay with it, and our lawyer didn't object. So he said, yes, absolutely. You can have normal central committee meetings. You just can't have a recall until you follow the proper due process. That's the whole case. It's that he's not following proper process.
Well, I think
he's manipulating the process.
You missed the point. The point is, in the recall, all we got was a notice by email, but we don't know why we're being recalled. We don't even know who signed the secret petition, and we can't defend ourselves. And I doubt if we'll even get a rebuttal if there was a recall. The judge asked what, like, or no, I don't know if the judge asked specifically, but he put in his response that he will not be providing a reason for the recall, and his reasoning for that is that he does not have to. He claims that he does not have to. But if he had just provided a reason today, the judge would have actually thrown out the restraining order, because essentially the judge was trying to find a reason
why there would be damages, because essentially we're alleging that there would be no damages by delaying this recall, right? So say Denesa and I were stealing money from the party. That would be a reason that they need to get rid of us immediately, and this is a timely recall and it has to happen now. Well, the judge is looking for a reason, and that would be a great one, but it's not true. We're not stealing money. There is no reason. There is no real reason why they need to get us out now, because if there is one, that would have been Michael's golden ticket out of this mess. And
Right.
because he doesn't have one, and because he refused to give any reason at all, that's why he got a restraining order against him. That's why he's prohibited from having a recall. But if you go back to the other graphic, he lied. He lied to our party. He lied to our membership. He told them that this action, canceling both meetings, is the direct result of a judge's decision on a temporary restraining order. That's false. You just saw the restraining order. It only restrains him from having a recall. It does not prohibit him from holding a regular meeting. And he asked the judge about it. Sorry, I hope I'm not getting loud, but like, it's insane.
There's another thing. There's more to the meeting than just the, we want the appointment of the PCPs, but we also have a platform meeting that's supposed to happen here. I think it's the 25th, 26th, and 27th. And we were supposed to vote on bonus delegates and people who are actually can afford to go to this expensive meeting. And a lot of this is positioning, taking out a lot of the American First people, because they want to dilute the platform. So it makes it easier for these rhinos to say that they're following the foundations of our Oregon party. So you should see it. It looks like someone took an 18-page paper and put it through ChatGPT and shrunk it down to like 4 pages. And it took away the teeth in the number one thing is voter election integrity. They're taking away any language in regards to in-person voting or doing away with the machines, ID, the whole thing is, and it's just like what some of the bills we've seen. It's watered down hybrids that have both in-person and mail-in ballots. And we already know there's just so many ways. I think we've seen it through Dr. Cook. He's got like, I think it's 3 or 4 pages of teeny print of all the ways they're cheating in our elections. So I don't think we need to keep reinventing the wheel. We are trying now to attack, not prove so much. We already know there's fraud in our elections and they keep trying to mask it. But now we're trying to do something with this end vote by mail petition so that we can go to in person. This is exactly what Trump wants.
Right.
And the real strong thing that I think we're missing is most people don't know what PCP means in the Republican Party. And it stands for, the first letter is precinct, committee, person. We're going to need precinct people to help run our elections if we go to in person. And what better way is to fill up our PCPs so that we're ready and willing and able to run our own elections with the Democratic Party, all the other different parties there are, the working class party and the Socialist Party. If everyone had people a pool of people that could, from different parties, we can run our own elections in each precinct. So that's my rant.
Yeah, because Mark Cook basically, we, Cause of America and Mark Cook are doing return to hand counting, and they will be giving us instruction on how to do hand counting. But to do that, we need people in every precinct because we want to go back to 1 day in person, ID mandatory precinct level voting. But the only way that can happen is if we have volunteers, if we have precinct committee people that are willing to get volunteers to help us man those polling stations, to help us do the hand count if necessary. And the thing is, and Rob knows the exact numbers. We have what, 49 PCPs out of 450, or what's the exact number here?
49 out of 198. We have 20. We have 18 precincts in Coos County. We have 198 designated precinct committee people for the party. We need to fill every single one of those seats. That should be our objective going here on out, because not only are we trying to build this for something that we can use rapidly in the future, quickly. I mean, we need that party up and running, but we also want to leave something that is functioning for people who are coming along in the future. And that was sad that this party has been allowed to dwindle down so that they can have a few amount of people that they know will vote their way anytime that they roll them out from wherever they get these old PCPs from. And we need to change that by filling up all those positions. If we had 198 PCPs, they wouldn't be able to do this because there would be too many people listening to the argument, and it would be an overwhelming decision that would be based on a more diverse pool of individuals.
We'll get there. I know it. I mean, I can do 10 a month. That should be easy. I can find 10 conservatives in our 60,000 person plus county.
Is there, if there's anyone listening from Powers area, we really need people from Powers, because we don't have any representation there. Because I had to cover it the last time, and I'm in Myrtle Point area. So it's really important. You don't have to do a whole lot as a P. You can do as much or more. But the biggest thing is the vote. You're voting for your community of Republicans in your precinct. And that's why we need the grassroots people to start stepping up. I don't care. Just, you know how easy that cell form was to fill out? What is it? A name, an address, and a phone number.
That's it. Yeah.
Well, we're making it easy because we don't want people to be overwhelmed. We don't want to have roadblocks. But to play devil's advocate, we're not just like, we don't want to just let anybody in. We're not just trying to find any old registered Republican off the street. Not that there's anything wrong with those people, but we do want people because she mentioned Powers, and it's like, we want people from Powers until we don't, because there's only 2 spots. So we don't have any. And so we absolutely want representatives from Powers. Absolutely. But, we should do our due diligence to find the 2 best people from Powers to represent the conservative base in Powers. So same thing. We have 200 seats, which right now seems crazy overwhelming. So we want to lower the barriers as much as possible. But I know for a fact there are 200 wonderful, motivated, solid conservatives out there that would be willing to get involved with a party that actually matters. That's the other thing. We have to give them a party that matters. No wonder people aren't getting involved and want to come to meetings. Convincing them to come to a meeting right now, that's a joke, right? So it's, we have to do both sides of it. We got to get the people to sign up so that they're there and they're verified and on the ballot and all that and elected. But we also want to make sure that they're actually willing to engage with the party, support the party, in an actually authentic process. Rant over. Next person.
So if anyone wants to find out more about the party, where you can become a precinct committee person and where you can file it out, this is my website is wanted precinct committee people for the Coos County Republican Party, but this could be for the Democrats. The form is a universal form. It works for any either the Democrats or the Republicans. The other minor parties, they have conventions, they caucus, they don't use the precinct method at the elections. All you have to do is you can look through right here and it will tell you a little bit of the facts about PCPs. It will give you the link to the form. And by the way, you don't have to fill out the precinct position. You don't have to dig up your voter card and find out, what precinct you're in, even though every one of us should know which precinct we're in. I think I'm in 17. I think I'm in the one right above you there, Marty. And
I'm on the Coos Curry border, so I'm about as low as you can go.
okay, so I think I'm just above you on that chart, but everyone should know who they are. But if you don't, it doesn't matter because you can leave it blank. The clerk will fill it out. Just
Rob,
put
you
your
just
point-
think you're so above him, don't you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at even on the screen, he's like always lording it above me.
He's always
over my
first.
head.
He's
over my
always
head all the
first.
time. Look at that. Look at that. He's
It's all about
right
Rob.
up there. He's right up there.
Okay, we'll have enough of that now. All right.
Republic my ass.
The thing is, with the Republican Party, at least what I've seen, people don't like coming to it because there is a lot of headbutting right now in the party. So it's like tension in the room, and people can feel it. And I'm going to tell you, this last unofficial meeting that we had just with Coos Republicans that Rob and Castleman put together and had that speaker, David Brown, with the ORP vice chair. It was very, very, we're switching around. It was very awesome because there was no tension in the room. There was was there 52 people there?
I did a head count while we were there. So we had 52 people in the room, not counting the speaker. And it was like people had an opportunity to talk. We listened, we talked to each other. After the event, people were in little groups talking to each other. It's sort of like one of those community meetings where you're like, you know what? I want to be part of this community. I don't want to be the Cozy Kitchen WWF match. I want to be the let's talk about ideas meeting.
Because we all knew why we were there, and that why was a line, and we all respected each other's why. Even though, like, there are people in that room that I cannot stand. Like, I'll say that right now. Like,
you do know
there are people in this room that I cannot stand. But
thanks.
But we all had the same reason for being there, and we all supported each other in that fact. That was the key. That was the glue.
Well, that was the fourth Republican meeting I've been to since I've been trying to be more involved, and that was the only one I have been to that was a good meeting. The atmosphere was great. And I'm sure there's people, like Chris said, there's people that probably don't normally get along with one another necessarily, but can be cordial and understand this is for the greater good. The other three meetings I've been to were horrible. Two of them ended up in big blow up arguments. The first one, I felt like I was being talked down to by people that were,
you were being talked down to. It wasn't a feeling.
Members, whatever. And I mean, there was a gentleman sitting next to me. It was at the Coos Bay Library, and they were voting on a couple of things, and he kept raising his hand and saying aye. And there was one of the ladies in front of him that is an official voter turned around and just was really snotty, telling him you don't get to vote and stuff. And I thought, that's not a good way to get people to want to be part of this.
She was literally the PCP coordinator.
Hey,
that
can
was
you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
We're just ignoring you, though.
Okay, never mind.
We're just talking over you. No, that was the PCP coordinator. Her entire position is to welcome new people into the party and get them involved. And she turned around and yelled at you and some other people and said that you're not allowed to be involved because you're not a PCP, which is her fucking job. It's crazy. These people are lunatics. I've never seen
her. Any of the meetings I've been to, if she's in that position, she does a lousy job because I've never seen her come and greet anybody coming into those meetings.
Well, I have good news and bad news. Good news is she's no longer the PCP coordinator. Bad news is she's now our treasurer because the last treasurer resigned because they could not stand the bullshit that Michael was doing.
We don't even know her qualifications as a treasurer, too, by the way. They just voted her in because she was a yes vote.
Well, she did such a bang up job as PCP coordinator because look at the fact that we have more PCPs than we have slots for them. Oh, wait,
Right.
it's the exact opposite now, isn't it? Yeah, okay. So I'm sure
And,
she's going to do a bang up job as treasurer as well.
well, I think also we need to bring up. Oh my God, you're spicy.
We don't, doesn't seem like they're doing much fundraising for her to be treasurer for, so.
They're a sinking ship right now because they're not gaining membership and energy to help with that. But where was I going with this? I've already forgot. But
yeah, who wants to donate to the Clown Car Society? It's like, yeah, they probably can't get campaign contributions or any contributions whatsoever because it's like, well, if I wanted to do that, I'd turn on the reruns of Bozo for free.
Yeah, really.
Remember about Michael getting some money?
Oh yeah.
And that also that didn't come out in the July meeting. We were going to ask him that question, and he really doesn't have a good answer. He got money from a senator. Yep. And I think that's a conflict of interest to get money, a chair to get contributions from a candidate who our party gave money to. It's
he got paid he got paid $200 some for his services a few days after the election, and his services had something to do with an $800 bill at the post office. That's all we know because he won't talk about it. We tried to put it on the agenda and he abruptly adjourned the meeting. So that's what we get. That's, and conservatives, Republicans, we fight for transparency, yet our own leaders can't be transparent, won't answer questions, won't respond to emails. People keep asking in the chat though, can the vice chair run the meeting if the chair is not there? I mean, yeah, like if there was an accident and he didn't show up, but Michael knows that if he just left the meeting on Saturday, let it go and didn't show up, then I would run it. He wouldn't allow that. So that's why he cancels the meetings. So he's not that dumb.
So yeah, that's what Michaela was saying. She was saying that you actually could, according to our bylaws.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, if he just like if he had not canceled this meeting on Saturday and just didn't show up, absolutely I would run that meeting. I mean, like that's literally why I'm there. So
okay. So what are we supposed to do tomorrow then? No meeting? Yes meeting? We're not going to show up? Yes show up? What?
I mean, if people want to meet, we could meet up and talk and hang out and talk about things, I guess.
Do we still have the room?
Well, the CCRCC has the room, which is, I guess a one-man show at this point. So, but yeah, we were talking about money from the treasurer. I sent a graph, Rob, in the
cool.
Below.
Okay, graphs.
This is the most ridiculous graph. You'll have to remove the comment.
Got it.
This is insane.
That is
this was as it says year to date, but I calculated this in like early July, so it was January through July.
And didn't you ask the treasurer to give you some reports?
Well, yeah, I did an analysis quickly because this was prior to the Coos County Fair. So to be fair, no pun intended, yeah. I wanted to look up how the fair affected this because I was told all year that the big fundraiser of the year is the fair. They have a booth, they meet a lot of people, they get a lot of new membership, and they get a lot of merchandise sold. And remember, Denesa, leading up to this, we had an executive team meeting where they bought wasn't it like $1,000 in merchandise? I think. It was between a tent and merchandise. I think it was around $1,000.
Yeah, t-shirts.
So anyway, so I analyzed the income from the fair, and then added up as many direct and indirect expenses. Like indirect expense, like we're buying a tent. I feel like that's indirect. Like yes, we bought the tent for events, but like it's going to be used for a long time. So how do you quantify that, right? But direct expense was the merchandise.
Right.
And you can hope that if you don't sell at all, you can still sell it in the future, so you can realize that income later. But I tried to do an analysis to try and understand, hey, does it make sense to do the fair? And I understand there's other variables, like maybe we lose money, but it's a good investment because we have good outreach to the community, or we sign up new PCPs, right? So there's other things there, but I wanted to have a conversation around, does it make financial sense? Because my analysis showed that it was a complete flop. We lost money, a lot of money, and we already don't have money. So like we're in a really bad situation. Our money is quickly being depleted, and we didn't have a lot to begin with, and we're spending it on a big events like the fair, that we're just not getting the money back. So
Well, there's no
unless we
return
get
on the
some,
fair. Yeah, there's no return on the
and,
fair.
and they signed up no PCPs. I mean, shit, Marty, you gave decided to do it yourself. They didn't encourage you. You
Yeah.
filled out the SEL form to be a PCP and gave it to Michael. And guess where that's gone?
Probably right into the trash can if I was to make a guess, but
Yeah,
it's
nowhere.
not like anybody's called me up and said, "Hey, thanks for filling out the form. When can you make it to the next meeting?"
So we had
Well,
no outreach, no income. We can't do that. We don't have the people and the funds to do that anymore. So this is just crazy. This is crazy. This is not how you run a business or an organization.
How long
Well,
have
and
you been asking to be a PCP, Chris?
yeah, no
Oh,
kidding.
since the day I knew what a PCP was. I was elected vice chair as not as a PCP. It was like a, kind of a loophole in the bylaws. So yes, I'm vice chair. I can make motions, but I can't vote. I can't vote on anything because I'm not actually a member of the committee. But the executive committee or the central committee can appoint me. And I asked Denesa, you remember our first executive meeting? I asked, can I be a voting member? Like I'm your vice chair. The committee elected me. Why can't I vote? And Michael's response was that that's not like allowed, that they don't have the authority. And I didn't know the bylaws at the time. And actually at the time we were butting heads, but Denesa, if you remember, things were actually kind of sort of moving along. It was a pain in the ass, but things were slowly moving. And I'd never like felt like it was that big of an issue. I did kind of feel like I was able to talk at meetings and things were being considered at meetings. And then that quickly changed. So then it was like, okay, I absolutely need a vote. And then once I found out how to actually become a PCP and encourage other people to,
Right.
then it was all over. They realized that we could add voting members who think like us, and
Yep.
that terrifies the shit out of them.
Yeah, and
Well,
especially when MJ was the one that they pulled out, didn't even tell her they were pulling her out, put her into the slate that they ran against you guys, and come to find out they couldn't really control and manipulate MJ to vote with Michael, because even she, as stupid as they treated her, she's not a stupid lady. She's an incredibly intelligent lady, and it makes me mad that they thought they could get away with that. And she saw right through Brainerd right from the beginning. And that was beautiful that that it came back to bite them, that their own people that they tried to recruit that really didn't know they were being recruited saw through their BS. That was cool.
Well, that's why they really, really want to vet candidates now.
Yep.
or PCPs.
Hey, I want
I
to
have a
make
question
sure
for you.
I want to make sure people know I am not a person that normally likes to litigate at all. And I am not doing this to hurt the party either. But it has been a lot of trial. I was kicked in the gut with this recall. I have been very active in the party, and I have been targeted. I've in a meeting that was against the agenda. When Michael was a vice chair, he targeted me with a really bad PowerPoint presentation. Wasn't even on the agenda. I had no support, had no rebuttal. And now with this recall action, without knowing why they're recalling me, I just felt there was a lot of lack of due process. Yes, we named the Republican Central Committee in it, but mainly it's we've just changed the thing, and I'm really transparent. If anyone wants a copy of all this stuff, it's public knowledge. You can go to the courthouse or you can get it from me.
I posted it on Facebook.
Yeah,
You told me.
I will. I am so transparent, and I think a lot of people are being deceived that voted against us because
Yep.
they don't know. Not one called me to get any information about what Michael was feeding them to do the recall vote. Not so they were in their own little bubble without any discernment of being able to get the other opinions or what the other story. And you should never make decisions in that fashion. And so the only reason why, first of all, it's hard to litigate, it's expensive.
Yeah.
We're just fed up here in Coos County of a controlled party right now. We want the grassroots to come through. I mean, let me give you another example. The Trump train. We had the Trump train. We invited people within our party. Do you think one of those people showed up for the Trump trains? Not
They
one.
don't show up for anything.
They didn't show up for it at all. We had, between Curry County and us, we had over 75 cars deep going up and down the coast.
That was cool. That was so cool.
And we know when we went through parades that they didn't have any representation, and the Democrats were taking their little trailer around with their Ukraine flag and their gay, lesbian, LBGQ plus flag, flying them down the streets. Especially the biggest festival there is, and that's in Coos Bay, is the Bay Area Fun Festival. There was no representation. If we didn't have had that Trump train thing there to represent the Republicans, and I'm going to tell you, I can tell who voted and what the percentages are just by the town, just going through those parades, because we know who cheered and who didn't.
Yeah.
They're just not doing any candidate recruitment, though. That's a big part of it. Like, the whole purpose of the party is to get people elected. And you do these fun events like the Trump train to start networking and engaging with the community, because guess where we get these great candidates? We get them from the community, and we find them and we meet them. I mean, like, all these people that I've met over the past couple years have been through fun events like that, and I meet them and I get a chance to learn about them and learn what they want to do with the community, what their vision for the community is, and how strong their conservative values are. And then that's how you vet people. You don't put them through a series of roadblocks until you can decide whether you like them. That is the wrong way to vet somebody. You just shouldn't vet people. Like, let them choose their own path and choose whether they want to be involved, because guess what? It's their party, not yours, right? Like, at no point should we ever have a chair who thinks it's their party. Now, Rick's the only one on the screen. Anyways, that was my signal to shut up, I guess.
No, you were totally. I was letting you go ahead. Go ahead.
I want to speak to Steve had a comment about the meeting, occupying the meeting room, and sorry if that came across that way. That's not my intention whatsoever.
No.
I was actually specifically saying that it is the CCRC's meeting room, not mine. It's the full committee, and if I was chair of the committee, the whole committee would get to decide. Like, shit, I'm not going to cancel a meeting just because I don't want to go to the meeting. I would ask the committee, hey, do you guys still want to have this? A judge has a restraining order, blah, 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 right? Like, you include the committee on decisions, or at least the executive committee. He didn't. We didn't have an executive meeting on the whether, he didn't give us an update about the court case or anything like that and ask us whether we want to have the meeting or not. Nothing. He does it all on his own. So yes, right now that is Michael's room. Michael alone has the library all to himself from 6 till whenever he goes to bed, 9 o'clock. I don't know. So that's his room. Yes. So Steve, just want to clarify that for Steve.
He has a glass of warm Ovaltine at 7:30, and he puts on his footy pajamas, and his mom puts him to bed, and then
his mom
like
puts him to bed.
Yeah. But
it's a beautiful thing.
It's like Denesa and Chris are like the type of people we should have in the party that are engaging, that are getting people involved, that are having these events. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I had to tell people, it's like, well, you're taking over the Republican Party. And well, no, they're not. They're just having a meeting of like-minded Republicans in North Bend. This is not a party meeting. This is not trying to take over the party. This is just showing that you can find people that want to be energized by this and want to join this kind of stuff. Denesa and Chris are working their butts off while everybody else is sitting around going, you know, we don't like the fact that you're making us look bad because you're working hard and getting people involved. And it's like, you know, it's like how many people showed up at our booth? We had 665 people sign our petition at the NVBM booth that Denesa paid for, and we all stood around all day long going, come sign our petition. Don't make me ring this cowbell at you. So, you know, but that's the whole point.
That cowbell, I tell you, that energized me every time a petition was signed. It made people look at us like, what the energy, what that positive energy over there. I want to be a part of that. And it also inspired us. It was like we were fighting over who could ring the bell that was working the booth.
My turn.
And that's the funny thing, though. All four of us, well, all five of us here. I'm sorry, I can't count. I've had my share of marijuana soda, and so yeah, I can't.
I want a marijuana soda sponsor. Damn it!
There you go. That's the best. The marijuana soda sponsors. And so the five of us are the most active people in the county. This is what kills me. They're, like Marty said, they're keeping out the most active people, the people who, I don't know how many different political issues all five of us are working on, probably about a half a different ones that no one in the party is working on right now. In fact, I'm not even sure what the hell they're doing. I think he went to a couple events with his speaker and microphone and tent.
Do you remember, Denesa, at our first few executive meetings, I would tell everybody I would list like the top 3 or 4 issues that I was focusing on that month and the meetings I had been to address those issues and stuff. And they would look at me like I'm crazy. And I remember one time Pam told me that I shouldn't take on too much. Or I don't know, somebody said, I don't know if it was Pam. Sorry, it might not have been Pam. But somebody told me like, you're taking on too much. And I'm like, well, help me out.
Right.
Well,
what?
We had some great conservative dinners. I think I've been accused of I'm the election integrity chair, and I'm not doing enough. And I'm not kidding. I'm following the bylaws. The platform. The platform is number 1. What we're doing with the end vote by mail. I've been a part of the Coos election integrity. I've listened to Dr. Frank, and we've had Dr. Frank and Mark Cook.
Yeah. Hand Count Roadshow, Mark Cook.
So wait a minute, Denesa. These guys don't know this, but Saturday night when me and Diane, we wussied out and we went home, what was it, about 8:00 on Saturday? You, I heard, had a really good time with the vice chair, Dave Brown, and Dane and his wife and all those people up there. They said they had such a great time with you that Saturday night. And I said, damn, I should have stayed a little bit longer, but my back was just killing me after sitting all day at the gathering of Eagles. So you're a trooper. You're a hardcore trooper. Every day you were at the state fair. So for anyone to say, "Oh, Denesa's not pulling her weight,"
I wasn't there every day. I was only one day there.
At the state fair, you were there every day.
No, I was only one day.
No, you're there at the county fair every day.
County
fair. Yeah, that was it.
The damn soda, Rob.
If it weren't for Denesa, the NVBM booth at the county fair would not have existed. She brought the tent. She paid for the space.
The sad part is I'm a January 6th. And I came back and got a part of Citizens Restoring Liberty because we found a whole group of people that we didn't know in Bandon were there too. And so I joined this group and became a, what do they call it? A steering committee. I was on the steering committee, and we had a lot of people engaged. In fact, the Republican Party took a lot of that credit when we did all sorts of things like the Freedom Faith Faith, Family, and Freedom or something festival we had going during the middle of COVID, when we had meetings that people could talk about all the problems and their with the jab and the mask and helping teachers and we helped the abandoned dunes, all this stuff that was going on. We were activists. The wind, I mean, we've been activists in this area, going to BOC meetings, trying to make sure that we tried to get them to put some things on the ballot that could help us all, but it never happened. But we've been active. We've been very active, and they took credit from us. And I'm going to tell you, the meeting we had with David Brown, having a good speaker come in, when we went over the petitions, we got to freely talk. Well, this whole thing with Charlie Cook and everything, it is about debate. It is about talking freely. And we're not allowed to talk freely in our own Republican Party.
I know. Can you believe that? Yeah.
We feel like we're in a Gestapo.
So Denesa was trying to explain that to Dave Brown. He kept asking, why are they recalling you? And she was like, well, we had a meeting. Well, yeah. What do you mean you had a, well, we had that meeting, you remember? And it was like something from, Monty Python. Is this where we come for the argument? No. But your sign says this is where you come for the argument. No, it isn't.
Wait. You're having an argument now. No, I'm not.
I'm not. So that was the Dave Brown that was at our meeting that we put together. Not meeting, the event, whatever you want to call it. It was more of an
great
event.
guy. Yeah, we went to go.
So he was sitting there learning that now we're being recalled for putting on that very meeting.
Yeah.
Wow, I would have loved to have heard his response. That would have been cool.
He was willing to come and help do something. But I didn't feel that
we shouldn't.
I don't want to throw them under the bus. They're also new in their positions.
Right.
And honestly, he is a very grassroots kind of guy. And I'd rather have him at the state level and being effective. Let's fight our own battles here. And that's that's what we're doing. And I mean, he's an awesome guy. He's a stand-up guy.
Yeah, he is. He kicks ass.
I get goosebumps even talking about him because he is real. He's real, like Charlie Cook is real in the sense that he doesn't miss words. He doesn't have any fear. Chris doesn't have any fear. He'll go into homeless camps. I mean, and neither
the beard helps.
Well, the beard. You know what? I mean, some people would probably think you're a liberal just looking at you, but
they do.
I did.
They still do. The people in the party still think I'm some liberal infiltrator.
Yeah, the hat says otherwise, but the beard says liberal.
The judgment from the Republican Party.
Yep.
If they perceive you as not being a Christian, you're basically 86th. And I'm going to tell you, Chris and Rob have more Christian principles in what they do in their lives than most Christians that I know of and that I've gone to church with. And we're fighting. Oh my goodness, he's converted.
Yeah.
Where did you pull that out of?
I've got an action figure Jesus on my desk. Doesn't everyone?
Well, I know Jesus is working on you. I know he's working on you, Rob, and I know he's working on Chris and Marty and Rick.
Well, I appreciate that, Denesa.
Because
I'm not perfect.
No, everyone.
But I do know what's right and what's wrong. I know what's moral and immoral.
You're sticking up for what it is. You're a lion. You're a lion. You're a lion. You're a lion. You're a lion.
You can't tell because she cut off half her
Yeah,
face,
we
Yeah,
but
can't see
she's
what
I
she's
got
pointing at
pointing
all.
right
at.
here.
So.
Yeah, I
And is she
sorry.
saying we're lions, or is she saying
Can we take a time
we're
out?
lying? We're lying.
I want to hear from Rick.
I want to hear
Yes.
from Rick too.
There we go
Okay.
again. I'm just taking it all in.
God love you for that, because you do, and you're so patient. But you've got to have you're thinking. I know it.
Well, I'm just waiting for the time we can get this clown out of the. I'd like to see him clear out of the party personally. If he gets to remain in there, he's a bad influence. And same with his cronies. I'd like to see them all go away. They aren't doing any good for anybody. They discourage involvement. I really believe they're Democrats at heart. I mean, and I say that not that I think being a Democrat is the worst thing in the world. There's some good Democrats out there.
Hmm.
You know,
Like 3.
Well,
I'm kidding.
yeah.
I'm actually
No,
more
but
incensed by
you know what I mean? I
I'm more
mean,
incensed by
there
the
are
fact
some
that they
people with
wear
some common sense
Republican
out there.
clothes, but they turn out to be. I'm more incensed by the fact that they wear Republican clothes, but they turn out to be rhinos. You know, at least with
Right.
Democrats, you can kind of go, well, I can see where this is coming from. But when somebody's on your side and then actively stabs you in the back, you know, supposed to be on your side, and then they actively stab you in the back or whisper, you know, do the whisper thing where it's like, you know, they'll say bad things about you behind your back, and I'm like going, oh, so very Christian of you. But I mean, it's like
Right.
I'd rather deal with a Democrat that's screaming at me and spitting on me than have a quote unquote Republican stabbing me in the back. So anyway, sorry.
I totally would
Rick,
too.
go ahead.
Yeah, Rick, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just that's exactly my thinking, just what Marty said. Um, I'd much rather, you know, talk with somebody and know what they're saying than somebody giving me lip service and going around and speaking out the other side of their face when they're not in front of me. And I think we got a lot of that going on. You know, Chris and Denesa and I all kind of, I'm not going to say the guy spoke out the other side of his face. He just blatantly put the screws to us. But, you know, but I do think that guy does a lot of that. Yeah. And when he gets called out on it, he kicks people off of the radio. There's something to that, or you know, things wouldn't have happened the way they happened there.
Well, yeah, you've got these
At least
people who
trying,
prevent the people, like the vast majority of conservatives, from having any sort of participation in their own party. That's just
Right.
not okay anymore. That's the fight. Like you mentioned, you started saying like, oh, we need Michael out of there. But and it's like people who, like, let's say somebody just joined this, they'd hear that and they'd be like, man, you have a personal problem with him. And it's like, no. We're seeing somebody who's preventing the people from being able to participate in their party. It's called the People's Party.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
it's
It's
crazy.
a party. It's a party. It's not
Yeah.
it's not an elite social club.
Well,
It's supposed to be
you know,
the
my
Big Tent
first-
party,
first-
and their
the
idea of the
first
Big
meeting-
Tent is well, I was going to say it's supposed to be the Big Tent party, and their idea of the Big Tent is what they had at the county fair. It fits like 10 people only, and we're like going, no. We want hundreds of PCPs. We want thousands of Republicans. We want all the NAVs in the county that left the Republican Party to come back because we're going to do it the right way this time. And in the meantime, nah, sorry, I'm the PCP person. You can't join my party.
Well, let's all agree to do it right. And I think we tentatively scheduled a conservative meetup in 3 weeks, or 3 weeks or 4 weeks, right after the convention, like the first week of October. So let's all put our heads together and make a badass meetup. I want a band. I want food. I want drinks. I want there to be a party. Let's put our energy into that, because man, this whole past week has been insane of like the legal stuff, the emotional crazy roller coaster of Charlie and his passing, and we really need to do something that is like enlivening and awesome. But
agreed. And I don't know what we because all of this is still hanging up in the air, because in 10 days, doesn't he still have the ability to reschedule this recall? And then doesn't that still risk your Denesa's ability to be the delegate up at the platform meeting?
well, it would be up to a judge, but yeah, he can only issue a restraining order for 10 days at a time. But if he issued it for reasons, right? He listened to both sides. He listened to our side, he listened to Michael's side, and he issued the restraining order, and he reaffirmed that issuance of it today. So if nothing changes, it would happen again. And I mean, I'm not a legal scholar, but you know what I mean?
I see
If
what you're
Michael
saying,
didn't,
right.
all Michael had to do was hold the meeting on Saturday, like he promised everybody, like he told everybody we're having a meeting. And if he had held that meeting and appointed a few PCPs, he could have gone back to the judge next week and said, hey, you know, or just let the restraining order expire. And if Denesa and I tried to get a new one, that judge would have said, look, guys, he is following proper process. You guys have had plenty of notice. He did appoint PCPs, which is kind of the foundation of the lawsuit. So he just shot himself in the foot. So I don't know who's giving him legal advice, but it doesn't seem to be working too well.
Well, you know, if it's the same lawyers who said to send out a cease and desist letter against me for doing a meme or sharing a meme, yeah, I can only imagine who's these legal geniuses are. But I'll tell
see
you
how transparent we are. We just told him how to win. We're that transparent.
That's how transparent.
We have
but he won't listen to you.
Yeah, we have a couple things up our sleeves. We still haven't done them. We're still looking at doing them. We're actually the thing is, I paid right before the recall, like a day or two before the recall. I paid probably about $600 without driving cost or anything else to go to this Welsh's. I sent the invoice to Michael, and the I think I sent it to Lourdes and him. Well, they're going to owe me that money because, and you know, I want to represent Coos County. It is a privilege to represent our county, and I think if we're 60% Republican in this area, I think I have a pretty good read of where people are at and what we should be fighting for and not diluting things. We're tired. There's so many people are so sick of Tina Kotek and her taxes on gas and payroll tax and cat tax and you name it. We're going to get taxed to death. I even heard rumor when we were up at someone's that's on her staff leaked out that she's thinking about 14%, I think, income tax. I mean, if we're not going to get the federal funding and stuff because she's not going to follow what Trump is asking for in his executive orders,
right?
She can just tax the shit out of us with the legislature, by the way.
That's the goal. That's the goal. We will own nothing and we will be happy. I mean, that's literally where they're going to, and that's what socialism is about. This is communism in China and Russia. They always do the same thing. They bleed the producer dry to the point where there's nothing left for them to produce. And here we are. We're watching it. And our own party is fighting us because we got a few senators and representatives who are willing to sell their soul to get the few earmarks that they get to come back to these counties. And damn, Denesa, you doing what you're doing right now, this is incredible. It's
going around the whole state right now.
It's going around. Oh yeah, the nation.
And Don Powers just beat his recall.
There you go.
This guy took it upon himself to put a ball together at the inauguration, and you know, he's not the most organized guy, but he's connected. He's connected because he worked with a lot of big events that he's put together with. He just knows people.
Yeah. I'm friends with all people involved. They're political allies. And it's just sad that we got people who are good patriots fighting with each other because we got true enemies on the other side. They're putting bullets into our heroes, so we got to do something about that.
And the question from Sam Frost is, are we still being recalled? Are you still being recalled as a delegate? Well, there's a temporary restraining order from doing it, 10 days. He can turn around and do it again. Hopefully he'll follow the process. I want to be the delegate. If he's going to try to take me out with, there's only 49 people, so he just has to have 25 to do it.
But you reminded me of something talking about these delegates for this convention. It's like he wants to remove the two of us as delegates. By the way, you and I are the only two people who have been to all the conferences this year.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is a special conference that allows bonus delegates, more than the two that normally go. And that was also supposed to happen tomorrow at the Saturday meeting. It was to appoint PCPs and elect bonus delegates. So, like, for instance, Rob and Rick here, and Marty, you turned in your form. You could have hey, and me, because I'm not a PCP. The four of us could have been appointed as PCPs on Saturday and elected as bonus delegates, and we could all be going to the convention. Same thing. There's people in the comments watching the show. Rain and Jeremy. Carolyn said she wanted to be a PCP. Some other people said. Steve has given his form in since May. I mean, you have all these people. That's like 10 people I just named. Could all have been appointed and joined the party as active members tomorrow. And then some of us who had the financial means and time off from work could be going to the platform convention to represent Coos County to define the Oregon Party platform, Republican Party platform, at the end of the month. And instead, this jackass wants to blame Denesa and I as the obstructionists when we're literally the people trying to put all that together.
Right. Yeah.
This is 1984. Pick up a copy of Animal Farm at your local publicly funded library.
Yeah.
You can read it in a couple hours.
And I'm rereading Atlas Shrugged, and I'm like finding so many passages in Atlas Shrugged that it's just like, oh, this is exactly what's going on here. Bow to the collective. If you're an individual or you're a producer, you are the evil one. And I'm like, oh, God, this sounds so very familiar.
Yep, that book, Fountainhead. If you're an Ayn Rand fan, she has philosophy books and like books that are like a collection of essays and speeches she's done. They're amazing, and they'll make you really engaged and want to do more and get more engaged with politics and stuff. But yeah, Nicole is watching. Commissioner Taylor filed a form today. She rushed to get this form in because Michael is being such a pain in the butt, claiming that he has to vet the applications when that's false. He's not allowed to. And the only source of truth is the clerk's office, who verifies your eligibility. So she rushed to get their forms in so that the clerk's office could verify their eligibility so that on Saturday there would be no funny business. And then Michael cancels the meeting. This is how he's treating members of his own party that he is supposed to represent.
Well,
this is insane.
How many of those people that want to be PCPs are public officials already? We have, I think it's 5.
Yep. Phil, Amanda, Rod,
Ryan, Ivan Hawker,
and crap. Well, Rick's gonna be one.
Yeah, we have about 5 people that are already very well vetted.
Yeah.
They got elected, and they can't even become PCCs. Just like you.
Jeremy's on a fire district. I knew
Jeremy's on the fire district. Yeah, and so there you go, and we may have more by the time this is said and done. But going back to Rick, we're not going to have a party here that's functioning. And once again, I don't know how they're blaming us, how they're blaming you two for the party not functioning when clearly you're not the one canceling meetings. You're not the one who's obstructing anyone from joining the party. We're not doing anything that that is violating the bylaws or the precedents that have been set before. It's all being done by the other side, and yet they still claim, no, somehow we're the bad guys. And you know where it really comes out? The judge saw through his bullshit, because why would they do a restraining order? I've seen them refuse. Didn't Brandy get refused a restraining order? I mean,
Brandy's. Yep.
Yeah, so they gave one to you guys for this situation, and yet
it's a tall order.
It's a tall order.
Yep. Yeah. To intervene in a political party's ability to remove members and add members, like that's actually pretty crazy. Like, I was actually surprised that it was granted, not because I don't think that we're being manipulated or harmed, that Michael's not being ridiculous, but just because I just felt that the bar would have to be very, very high for a judge to intervene in a political party process.
I thought so too.
But
when he doesn't
that
follow
bar
his
was
own
met.
rules, when he's not following the rules, I'm not going to say his own rules, but our rules that we all have to follow, he's not above those, and apparently the judge could see through that and slapped him down.
Actually, Rich, it was ORSs. The judge was basing this on ORSs, the same thing that Rod Schilling has been saying for, I think, probably 8 years since I've been seeing him as chair. He's been saying we don't follow ORS. And I've always thought in my head, that's bullshit. If you break the law, you break the law. Well, the judge just violated that. I mean, validated that. Right.
Right. If you bring up the screenshot that they're with the legal filing, you had it up while one of us was talking, and I never got to explain it. But so if people aren't familiar with reading legal stuff, this is Michael's response to Denesa's original, lawsuit or whatever. So Michael is responding because Denesa, there where it's in bold, number 1, it says no manipulation of PC pool, because Denesa alleged, hey, you're manipulating the PC pool. You're keeping it small and manipulating who can be added so that you can control it. So he's responding here saying, Chairman Brainard has not refused to appoint PCPs, and he goes on, and you can read it. But it's like it's the first sentence in the whole thing, and it's insane. Like and then he literally did it today. He canceled the meeting that would have appointed the PCPs.
And it's not the first time he's done that.
Yeah.
Since I've been trying to be involved.
Of the past 5 meetings since May, he has canceled 3 of them. And the 2 that actually were open, like the meeting started, he adjourned them before the agenda was complete. The last one, he adjourned before the agenda was even approved. We didn't even get past the first thing, which is approving the agenda to start the meeting.
After we opened twice for the second meeting, and we had to sit through a prayer and a pledge twice, and did it very respectfully, very civilly, and were so all the way up to the point where you were denied for, what was it, out of order? You were out of order or something?
I was out of order because I motioned to amend the agenda while we were discussing what is on the agenda, which is an absolute, like one of the most basic motions you can make at one of the most appropriate times you could make it. And actually Denesa made it first. She was declared out of order, and I just reworded it and made the same motion, and then I was denied as well. So it's insane. So I mean, everybody gets it. I'm sorry. I hope we're not boring people. Is this exciting to listen to? I don't know.
No, the judge gets it. This is actually damn exciting. This goes to show, because this goes all the way back to David Brock Smith lying about his votes in the legislature as a representative and as a senator. This goes all the way back to that and leads up to this very point. And I mean, there are a lot of branches that come out of this story that goes all the way back to him and his very bad votes that has led us to this very situation where you have 3 county party level entities, the Republican Party, and they're being held captive, one in Douglas County by the good old boys, one here by I don't know, what is it, a proxy of David Brock Smith? I don't want to use a bad word to describe Michael. I shouldn't. And in Curry County, I think they're not even sure what the hell's going on because they've been living with so much BS for so long with this guy. They don't know which way is up. So this goes back to all of this. And when you tie it into this lawsuit and the lawsuit that's happening in Douglas County with Todd Vaughn against the county clerk, Dan Loomis, it really magnifies the division in the Republican Party all the way down to the precinct level, all the way up to the national level. And that is really, truly something I think a lot of people would be interested in if they knew this whole story. But how could you tell it in less than an hour, you know?
It's just lie after lie after lie. If people can see that last sentence on the screen here, it says that this is Michael making this allegation. The chairman has not had the opportunity to perform his duty to vet applications. By the way, that's not his duty. To vet applications because information has been withheld from him. He keeps saying that I'm the vice chair has refused to provide the chair with applicant information. And again, by the way, that's not my responsibility. It's not his either to vet applications. The clerk's office verifies eligibility, not him. But anyways, it's just not even true. You have Commissioner Taylor's wife, Nicole, she's in the comments, she's listening. You know, I have people that have reached out to Michael and to give him these applications. Marty, you gave him the application.
Yeah.
Steve Nye, you're listening. You gave him the application. People have gone to him directly. I have sent people to him, and he is not putting them up for vote. He's not doing it. This entire year, not a single person has been put up for vote. Not a single person. Yet he has the audacity to make those claims to a judge. He has a day of reckoning coming. That is not, judges do not play around with that sort of stuff.
No, they
And
don't.
I find it interesting
we
that
have
it's Judge
lots
Stone.
We have
I
lots
find it interesting that
of
it's Judge
people.
Stone, who is a Democrat, who is like agreeing
Yeah.
with us. And, you know, and the thing is Judge Stone was also the judge I had when I was doing the suing Coos County for ballot images. Ron and I were, you know, suing Coos County for ballot images. We got in front of Judge Stone, and I'm like, well, this ought to be fun. And he sided with us. And I was like going, you know, and I was doing it pro se, so I was assuming he was going to go, oh my God, another non-lawyer trying to do lawyer stuff. This is going to be a laugh. But he actually helped out and sided with us. And I was just like, you know, and then when I found out he sided with you guys, I'm like going, you know, he may say he's more Republican than most of the Republicans.
He's probably a classic liberal. If people Google search like old school liberal or classic liberalism,
there you go. Yeah, that might be the case.
It almost reads like modern day conservatism, or you know, like small government, free market, enterprise, stuff like that.
Well, it may have helped him get appointed to judgeship because a lot of these guys are appointed. I think he won an election, but Marty, you want to read this from Commissioner Taylor? This is from Rod Taylor to Michael Brainerd, and your eyes are probably better than mine. I don't know. Try it out.
I have refrained from any public comment regarding the matter of recall elections at the Coos County Republican Central Committee intended to take out Denesa Raines and Chris Castleman. I will now say that that proceeding with this divisive and unwise vote does absolutely nothing to strengthen the county party, and in fact will have untold and unfathomed negative impact on a party for years to come, on the party for years to come. Now today we hear that Charlie Kirk has been assassinated. This battle is not Republicans versus Republicans or Republicans versus Democrats. It's good versus evil. Any force that proactively divides a country party or divides a county party like this is veering towards the evil and must be stood against. Michael Brainerd, as chair, must stand decisively against this recall vote and find the pathway to unity, especially in light of the absence of any official August meeting where things could be more openly discussed.
Commissioner Taylor put this out, and then Michael, days later, filed a motion to actually, in response to a restraining order from a judge saying you cannot have the recall, Michael doubled down and he said, yes, I still want the recall. I still want to do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
He didn't even claim like, look, guys, this isn't me. It's whoever filed the petition or whoever signed the petition. He tried to force a judge to reverse his own order.
So
So that
all
he
he
can
has
take
to
us out.
do, all he has to do at this point, and this is what I would advise Michael. Michael, if you really want to do the best thing that you can for the party, for yourself, to make amends with everyone, you need to take all the people who want to be PCPs. And I've got a list. I've been compiling a list of all the people who have been nice, very nice. There are no naughty people on this list. They're all good people, good patriots, and they want to be PCP. So my advice to you is to appoint these 31 PCPs, and I'll probably have about 35 by the end of next week, if not more. You appoint them at the next meeting, and you forget about these recalls. You put that in a nice little newsletter that you've been sending out, and you send it out to everyone, and that way you might save some face and a little bit of grace when you have to face these people, because eventually you're going to have to face these people anyway. The judge is either going to force it upon you or the election will force it upon you. So either way, you're going to face these people. So that would be my advice to you, is to just surrender and give us everything we're asking for. We're asking for unconditional surrender.
Well, we've got 17. It's not showing up on the clerk's office right now because we got to her really late in the day and she had to run, and it's Friday. So it won't show up till Monday. But Michael or anybody else, if you want to see it on Monday, you're going to see 17 PCPs under the Republican column. And I believe there's 0 for Democrats. And of note is that all 17 of these are currently not PCPs. So none of the current 48 or 49 that there are PCPs right now, none of them have filed for re-election. These are 17 new PCPs. So if the election was today, we'd all win and it would be a whole new party. So Michael, you got some work to do, but also, you don't have to wait for our list. Just go to the clerk's office. They're verified already. And you can download that list, copy, paste, put it in whatever you want, put it on the agenda, and we can all be appointed. And Marty's application, Steve Nye's application, you've got Johnny and somebody else, I think Kathy Chase's husband. Anyway, you have their forms. Send them to the clerk's office, you jerk. I did it. I went to the clerk's office today. I ballot harvested. I had 12 that I handed them, and she
totally
loved
legal.
it.
Totally
She
legal.
loved it.
I asked her, I called up Lark and I said, Lark, I've got a bunch of these forms. Can I have people fill them out and I'll bring them in, because they always forget about it. She goes, that's a great idea. I've never heard of this. And I said, well, I'm going to get you a bunch of forms because I'm ready to get this done. And she was excited.
She is
about
so
it.
stoked.
This is cool.
She was so happy that, we were looking at the list and there's 4 people already filed for commissioner seats. Like she's like, we're having an election. It was cool. People are getting involved. That's huge. 17 new people that want to be on the second day of filing.
Yep. That's badass.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have
a question.
So the whole thing is that, okay, I'm assuming Michael is not going to turn in my SEL 105. So I can go to the Coos County website, get another SEL 105, and can I just email it to Lark? And is that good enough? Or should I drive it over to Coquille?
Is it? I could have emailed them damn forms?
Yeah, you can email those forms.
I believe so, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you can download the forms and all they have to do is sign it, and you can scan it and send it right to them. And you can do it in one file.
Yeah.
You can just scan it at one time and send it to them in one file, and they'll take it.
Yeah.
Well, I liked seeing her. It was cool. I got to run into Nicole Taylor. I got to run into a new person I just met. I literally standing outside the courthouse. You got Nicole and I talking about politics and stuff. And some guy walks up and he wants to get involved. Literally, he's been a conservative. He has been watching our shows and stuff. He's been involved from the sidelines, been kind of watching. And now and unfortunately with Charlie Kirk's passing, it's setting off a spark in a lot of people. Charlie touched so many people across this nation and probably beyond. And it's happening right here in Coos County, that they were touched, and he came up to us. He wants to get more involved. He like literally asked, he's like, what do I do? Because if I don't, I'm going to start going down a darker path where I'm thinking of unconstructive ways to get involved. So
Yeah.
he was like, I want to be constructive. I want to get involved like Charlie did. And that's so freaking cool. So you know what? Don't email your forms because you're going to meet somebody outside the courthouse. That's my
That's
story.
more-
Is there any way we can act like Charlie and try to get Michael on and have him refute, or at least
Michael
have
has an
debate?
open invitation. I've sent him and Rod Schilling, DBS, Court Boys. They all have an open invitation. If they want to come on the show, all they have to do is send me an email and I'll put them right on. They're always more than
They would
welcome.
have to answer questions.
They'll
Don't
have to
forget.
answer questions. That's the problem.
Steve's asking when the deadline is, and I just wanted to make sure if people are listening now to get it out there. So you could start filing now. The start was yesterday. So you can file all the way up till March 10th, but you can only get on the ballot if you're a registered Republican right now. But if you want to register Republican, like let's say you've been conservative all your life, but you just haven't affiliated yourself with the Republican Party, but you want to start getting involved, register Republican now and talk to the clerk's office, because I believe you can fill out a write-in form. So you would still be able to become PCP, but you wouldn't be on the ballot, but you could be written in. And you probably have to do that in. Yeah, there's another
SEL 105D. I did that last time where I filled out the SEL 105D. This is how I know you can send this stuff by email, because somebody said, hey, you got to become a PCP. And I said, what's a PCP? They explained it to me. And I said, oh, yeah, I'd love to do that because there's nobody in Precinct 18 at all. And but the problem was it was like 2 days before the election. And I was like, okay, so I went to all my neighbors and said, hey, fill me in for write-in for Precinct 18. So I did an SEL 105D that says I'm a write-in candidate for Precinct 18. And well, I missed by 1 vote. So I needed 3. I only got 2. So my neighbors lied to me. They didn't vote for me.
Till 8 p.m. on the day of the election, though. Like literally till the last second of the election, you can fill in a write-in form, which if you're a registered Republican, like let's say Samantha here, like forgot, but she's registered Republican as of yesterday, but she just forgot somehow. She never turned in an SEL form. She can the day of the election. It just means that it would be a write-in. So her and some friends would have to write her name in, and then she could still become a PCP. But if you don't do that, your votes don't count. So everybody can write your name in, but if you didn't fill out the form, it doesn't count. But if anyone has these questions, either ask us or call the elections office. Those people are great. I've literally never had an issue with them or had an unanswered question.
No, Lark has always been great. I've always worked with Lark, and she is like, she helps me out. She's like, okay, what you need is this form, or what you need is that, or this need, you need to fill it out this way, or so forth and so on. Lark is great. The problem is when Lark has to get Brecky involved, then it's like, okay, you're gonna have to get Brecky to approve that because I can't do it by myself. And I'm like, oh man, well that kind of sucks. But no, I mean from day one, I mean I've said that Lark is a real stand-up gal. She always gets stuff done. She's super responsive, and I've never had an issue with her. I mean she's a great gal. Love her to death.
But the idea of the prove me wrong thing, I would love for that to work, but. I mean, you've got to have people on the other side who are willing to engage in conversation too, right?
Takes 2 to tango.
Yep.
And that's the problem. They don't want to engage. That was the problem I found with anyone in BLM or the Antifa. It was the rudeness coming from them and the repetitiveness. They would just repeat the same things over and over again. It was just taught to them, trained to them, and they didn't want to engage, and they certainly didn't want any answer any questions. So I think it was Cameron Langley would always tell me, I don't talk to fascists, and I invited him on the show all the time. They were always welcome, and anyone's welcome on this show as well. Just give me a holler. I don't know to invite you if you're interested in coming on, and and believe it or not,
nice. We can tone it down.
Yeah, we can tone it down.
We can be boring.
I was really thrilled that Joshua Walters came on the show, the guy who owns Orca Gunworks. That was really cool because he's a very informative guy, and has an air about him. He's so stalwarty. You know what I mean? He's just so calm and has a presence about him. It's just really cool. He's very authoritative. I don't know what it is. That has a lot of authority with his presence.
Well, and he was right to the point. He was very concise. He explained it in a very quick way, and it was like, and can you believe that, I proved it was a stolen gun, but now I can't do anything about it. I said, can somebody steal your stolen gun, and then would you report it as stolen? I don't know.
Yeah. And this is what Charlie Kuhrt pointed out, is that every time they would step up to the plate, so to say, when he was doing his interviews on the college campuses, prove me wrong, he would always level them because that's all they had were the talking points. So Rain, you're absolutely right. And this was one of the great things about Charlie. I could never connect with the young people like he could because, well, I'm an ancient dinosaur, and he was able to connect.
31. We're twice that.
We're twice that. And so this guy was able to connect with these kids because he almost was a kid when he started this journey. I mean, well, really he was. And so he brought a lot of these young people into the Trump administration, and with his assassination, what he has done is is going to become, or has become, their John F. Kennedy. I don't know if I don't know how many of you are, I think maybe Marty, were you old enough to remember John F. Kennedy's assassination?
Pretty much.
Okay. So yeah, I was alive when they killed Martin Luther King and Robert Kennedy. Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, that was me. And so me and Denesa, we were alive at that time. And I think, Rick, you were probably alive at that time as well, weren't you?
Close.
So
like an infant.
I'm a little younger than I may appear.
okay, we'll go with that.
He's a mechanic, a diesel mechanic. That's he looks that way because of his job.
I was born in 67.
Right. Well, this guy has now become the new John F. Kennedy, but it's for our side. This is really going to turn into something beautiful because a lot of kids, a lot of young men especially, are going to follow in this guy's footsteps. I guarantee it, because this was something we always heard when we were kids, people growing up who wanted to emulate John F. Kennedy and the Kennedy legacy. And this is going to happen again. It's written on the walls what's happening. I'd like to hear each one of your thoughts on this assassination.
I think he's going to be a saint. I think he's going to go down in history as a pivotal point. I mean, for all we know, he could have been Jesus. His age, he spoke the truth. He's making men the masculinity in men to stand up. We haven't seen that in very many leaders. And the thing is his influence on young people right now. I mean, my own son is devastated, and he's 19, 20. And these kids that have been going to college and they're going into debt, and they're getting on that bicycle where they're perpetually working for the government, working to pay their debts down. He's trying to get them to break that mold. And I think it hit a lot of people. I mean, not all kids are meant to go to college. One of my kids went to a college that out of 550 seniors, pretty much over 500 of them went to college. And I bet you most of them are in debt.
Yeah.
And most of them aren't staying home, being connected with their family while they're going through indoctrination camps. The teachers' unions have gotten way too strong. He's pointed that out. And he helped get Trump over the threshold. He was able to get young voters to come out. So I think he's going to go down as a saint because, first of all, God is number one. And then it's your wife your kids, and your community. He has the priority down. It's biblical. And I think it's going to be, I think he's going to go down as a saint. We haven't heard a peep out of the Pope. Have you heard anything out of the Pope? This guy is our Pope for the United States. He's our moral compass that we needed to come back to. So I think he's going to go down as a saint, and that's my opinion.
Rick, what do you think?
I hate to use the word martyr, but that's what Charlie's become. I watched a lot of his YouTube videos and in his interaction with these young people. Phenomenal how he stands in his beliefs, and you don't see too many people unwavering with things. He couldn't be manipulated. He, and the one of the things that I really enjoyed about watching him work, the man was nice to everybody. People up there swearing at him, screaming and hollering at him. He might have raised his, heard a little influx in his voice, but nothing like what he was receiving. And he was pretty polite and just direct and honest to people. You just don't find that, especially in people his age, too much anymore. The man was raised right.
Marty?
I guess I should probably turn my microphone back on. Yeah, so actually, I kind of, well, I had it turned off because I was like shuffling things around my desk. But
Got it.
yeah, I kind of actually, I'm leaning in Rick's direction. It's like I think we should call him a martyr because he was the one guy who was preaching civil discourse, who was standing up for youth, was standing up for what's right in America. He's sort of like, a junior version of Trump, where it's like, we all know what the right thing is. We all know what we need to be fighting for. And he was the one that could connect to youth. My idea of connecting with youth is, hey, you kid, get off my lawn. So,
Yeah.
it's a different thing altogether. But I mean, to put it into context, I mean, with all this talk of political violence on both sides, which is, BS, and I mean, and the amount of vitriol and hatred coming out of the left on this stuff about this assassination is just, gut wrenching. I'm still looking for a video of a conservative who assassinated a liberal for preaching civil discourse. I have yet to see it. So when they say, oh, it happens on both sides, I'm like, it does not. We are not the same. You've exposed yourself as the evil people that you are, and now you're cheering on like the evil people that you are. And this guy was a shining beacon of truth, honesty, and trying to do the right thing. Did he say the right thing all the time? No, but he certainly was patient, and he certainly did listen to people and try to have a civil discourse. I don't see any of that on the other side. And I think, as Rob was saying, I think this is going to be something that people are going to look to and say, this is where the youth got energized. This is where everybody else that was sitting on the sideline got energized. And this is an unfortunate event that I think will have a silver lining or maybe even a golden lining. And it's like, it's tragic that it has to go this way. But if we're going to find something positive out of this situation, I think that's it. So that's all I have to say.
We were together when we were out there getting petition signatures with Brandy. Yeah, and Brandy was like, I finally gotten feeling where the feeling where I'm safe now, where I could come out and there's no one going to hurt me. And we were talking about that right before all of a sudden I started getting text about, Kuhrt got shot. Oh, he's been taken to the hospital. They got the guy in custody. By the time I got home, the guy had passed away and there was nobody in custody. And we will remember that for the rest of our short lives that we have to live there, Marty. But the kids who are in their teens or in 20s are going to remember this forever until they're dead. And this is going to be something that is going to be profound in their mind. And you know how you said that a silver lining to a gold lining? This is the gold lining, because you have to create such out of such an atrocity. There is an equal and opposite reaction to every action. Well, because this is such an atrocity, because it's such an impact on everyone, that is going to have that reaction. And you're going to see kids who are going to follow in this guy's footsteps. And I think what they did is just unleashed an army of young sleeping people who are finally going to get tired of the BS, who are going to wake up more so than ever before. And I don't know, Chris, I'll let you have the final word on that.
Oh boy. Where do I start? Rain's comment about his mind being like a solid state drive, I mean, is like 1000% accurate. He was such a brainiac. The amount of vast knowledge he had on him at any given time without any sort of like binder to look at, right? You see the press secretary for the president, they have like that big binder, they have a whole crew. He didn't have any of that. He just sat there with a microphone, and his information retrieval was unmatched. I mean, you've got like Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh and some other people that can do similar things, but no one could do it like Charlie.
Right.
And that's true. Like that I took for granted. Like, I'm like, yeah, he's Charlie Kirk. He's great. He's awesome. And then you go back and look at his videos now, and it's like, wow, like it kind of hits you that we won't have any more.
Nobody's going to be able to replace them, or hopefully maybe 100 people will replace them. I don't know, but nobody will be able to do what he did and have the success that he had. I mean, that was just absolutely incredible. And Michaela talking about how Charlie Kirk is a hero and a guiding light from the upcoming generation. He was good. He will be amplified. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I don't know if I can't remember any assassinations after Kennedy and Martin Luther King. I guess there was the Ronald Reagan attempted assassination. There was the Trump attempted assassination, but I can't really think of anyone who was assassinated between that.
I mean, we had some one-off things. You had the senator from Arizona, who's like Gabby Gifford or something like that. Her husband was an astronaut. She was shot.
That's right.
Like point blank in the face with a gun during a press conference or something. That was insane. But that was like, I think that was some like isolated mentally ill person, like diagnosed mentally ill person that had some sort of like thing with her, like fixation on her.
Right.
People, maybe I should Google that, because maybe that was a while ago. And then the other one was the ballpark. Remember when somebody opened fire at the was it like a Republican ballpark game?
Yeah.
Steve Scalise. So there's things like that, but they survive. I mean, I don't know how the lady in Arizona survived, and she's not completely okay from it. But
not at all.
But no one was. I don't think they were really or attempted assassinations specifically them targeted because of their like speech. I mean, Charlie's unique. Like, and what made him unique made him important, and we're not going to be able to find another Charlie Kirk for as unique as he is. I mean, there's still more Charlie Kirks out there, but we're not going to be able to find them unless we ironically have the open dialogue that he was advocating for. If we silence speech and we silence activism and we silence people getting involved in this sort of political game we're all playing, if we suppress that, we're not going to find people like Charlie. We're not going to
right.
But I don't know, I guess it's a catch-22, because he arose through all that. He went to the colleges, into the belly of the beast, where that sort of stuff was being suppressed, and I guess that is what made him unique. So
yeah.
Rick was trying to say something.
Oh, Rick,
I was going to say the another. I hate to call Charlie Kirk necessarily a political figure. I don't think that was his only message, is why I'm saying that. But the only other person I can think of, Rob, you're talking about assassinations, and I consider it assassination. Yeah, he's a deranged guy, but I think anybody out there doing that stuff is off the hinge. But John Lennon was another assassination.
Yeah,
I don't necessarily agree with some of his, what appeared to
right.
be. I mean, I was pretty young to really understand anything about Lennon, but he was, you know,
Yeah, I
not
remember it
necessarily
being,
what I'd call conservative
yeah, I
with
remember it
his
being a
thinking.
nationwide thing as well because he was, it's like, he had the Imagine, the song about, can you
Mhm.
Right.
imagine what it would be like if everybody just got along,
Right.
and I remember when that happened, it was just like, a week of like dark skies everywhere. I was in college at the time, and it was like everybody was just like in a, it was just like when somebody of that, notoriety is just assassinated by, I forget who, I forget who assassinated him, but it was a nut job that was like, it's just your bog standard nut job. But it's like it's slightly different. He was a recording artist who was preaching peace and was, part of the Beatles, which was like a huge '60s thing.
Right.
Um, you know, so yeah, but it did have it. That was also a nationwide assassination type of thing that had a big shock.
So Rain Miller says 10 years ago on January 8th, 2011, Democratic Representative Gabby Gifford of Arizona was meeting with a group of constituents in Tucson area supermarket parking lot when 22-year-old man with a semi-automatic pistol opened fire on the group of a roughly 25. He killed 6 and injured 13, including Gifford's, who was shot in the head, and she still remains. I think she's still alive. Gee,
I
Rain, if you
believe she
find out
is.
if she's still alive, I think she's still alive. Yeah, none of your business says, I doubt people are going to be willing to do what Kirk was doing without bulletproof glass. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know. And James McHenry, it's always good to see you, James, whoever you really are.
Mm. He's Henry McJames, I think,
He's
but
Henry McJames, that's it. But you forgot Robert F. Kennedy. No, we mentioned.
we mentioned that. Yeah.
Yeah, we got that. None of your business, Chapman. Yes, it was
Oh
Chapman.
yeah,
I was going
Mark
to.
David Chapman. There we
I
go.
was
Yeah.
sitting there. I knew it. It was right on the tip of my tongue. I'm glad Nenya took
And
care of
and
that.
assassins also always have 3 names. It's Mark David Chapman. So it's certain.
Yeah. I skimmed the Wikipedia on the shooting in Tucson with Gabby Giffords, and it doesn't really point to a motive. The guy was diagnosed during the trial as paranoid schizophrenic, but he
Yeah,
didn't
I think
really
it was.
seem
I
to have a
think it was
motive.
like a weird reason. He had some type of. I don't think there was any rational reason because, well,
But she
like,
was a Democrat senator.
yeah. So that, and she was for gun control. Ironically, she is still alive. That's good to know. Last time I saw her, gosh, it wasn't. It was quite a while ago. I haven't seen her in a while, but she did not look very well, and I imagine living the lifestyle that she has to live in a wheelchair probably isn't conducive to living well.
Horrible.
It is horrible. So, is there anything else you guys want to say about the recall? I mean, I know Denesa, you were taking it pretty hard. Is there any? I mean, and you shouldn't, because nothing really changed if you were recalled or if they do recall you. I mean, you still are a PCP, and they can only they would have to go through the voters to recall you if you're a PCP, and I doubt that's going to happen. And we know that May is the long game, so I think we kind of should resign ourselves to the fact that we are going to take it in May. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well,
Well, if you,
first of all, we have to be people of truth. So we need to make sure before we say things that we go through them and make sure we check it. We have a lot of witnesses to what's been going on in the party. If you want to get anything from me, you can call me. I'll be transparent. You can come and get all the court filings if you want. We have a lot of emails already proving what's going on in the party. That's evidence. We're just trying to stick up for people in Coos County. We're tired of corrupt politicians that are on the take, that we just want, we need the fair representation. We need fair elections, and we're not going to get that unless the people from the bottom get engaged, and we need PCPs. We need people. Republicans can show up to our Republican meetings. You don't have to be a member. You don't need to be a PCP to come to our meetings. So please come to our meetings. It can be rough at times, but I'm going to tell you, we keep taking hits, and we're still standing, and we're still voice what's going on. And if you want to get stuff, you can come to my business if you want, or call ahead. I'm Kuhrt and Appliance here. And I don't normally, I think you guys all know me. I don't normally advertise myself very often, but my desk normally has a petition on it, or I have registrations for Republicans if they want to get registered, or if you want to get registered, I don't care what party, but get active. And so I do know, I make sure people get the bylaws. I make sure they learn about the platform. A lot of this is lack of education, and they don't want you to know about the platform and what we stand for as Republicans, because guess what? They don't want their feet held to the fire.
So Denesa, do you have all 3 petitions?
I only have the one, and that one is the end vote by mail, because I've never had the highway one you've always had, and I was told I had to go through the process of getting the other thing, the Tina. I had a lot of people come into my business wanting to know where that's at.
Oh, I'll just get you some. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, theoretically, you're supposed to go through Minix to get them, but Brandy basically says she can make it work.
I don't. I won't let anyone sign it unless I'm present, because that is the rules. Right. And I make sure I sign them when they're filled out at the end, and I make sure I turn them into the right people. And this is not all states have the citizens initiative petitions that we can get things on the ballot. And this is one way that we can act like legislatures. So,
I was interviewing someone from back east, and when I told them about the initiative process, they were like blown away. They were like, "You can do that?" And I was all, "Yeah, we have this constitution because, it's a very liberal constitution that allows you direct democracy through the initiative and referendum process." And I was telling them about this, and they were just so blown away. We were such a lucky state to have this, even though I hate direct democracy. When you have a corrupt voting system, I'm not sure any other way to end a corrupt legislature. I really don't know what other way than have citizens directly voting on stuff. So I don't know. It's just crazy. But so do you have any SEL 105s at your place too?
I can print them off anytime, offline. I'll print them on my paper.
So I'll let people know.
Apparently now you can let them fill them from the internet right from their place.
And I will harvest cell forms and take them in for you if you want them.
We're harvesting cell forms to become PCPs because we're on PCPs.
Yes.
Guys, we're doing it for the right reasons. People, if you're like shot, you're like, they're just doing this to like flood the. No, we're trying to give the party back to the people.
Yeah,
it's not about us. If we wanted control, we would just find our couple friends and make sure we beat at the other people. That's not what we're doing. We're giving it to everybody.
It is fun.
Our party, it's yours.
Yeah, it's fun to be a part of a dynamic with a lot of people, because there is creative juice from all different ways that come in, and it makes the work lighter. I know we are the diehards. You guys are really, I'm working full time. I would love to be out there on the front lines under those petition tents. That's a lot of work.
Maybe.
But it's very satisfying work, because you take a lot of pride in making sure that we can do things. What does that say? Fill out the application for PCs.
He says, this is funny, Denesa. He says, this is James McHenry. He says, I have filled out 3 applications for PCPs, 2 of the states and 1 of Michael's, and he outright said that the state one is not the correct one. It would be, but yeah.
Oh, I want to know who James is.
No, we're never telling you.
Well, he's filling out forms, James.
He's filling out forms, so look for James McHenry.
Oh, is he going under an alias when he fills these forms out?
I'm not saying anything.
I would hope he's
Denesa.
filling out his actual voter registration.
Well, if you believe sex offender Sal, I'm James McHenry, so I'm actually doing online. I'm doing online comments while I'm on the show.
Marty, damn you! You gave yourself away.
You know what? I have an idea. When you're going through the jails interviewing people, at least they're captive, and maybe you can get them to fill those cell forms out there and see if Michael will bet.
Yeah, let's add some felons to the party. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I hope they don't use that part of the video. Oh my. How many
PCPs? How many PCPs did the PCPs take when they're in jail?
Yeah, when they were in jail, right?
Hey, our candidates went to nursing homes and was harvesting ballots. So,
well, you know what I was thinking is, didn't Amanda Hawker say her son is on the city council and that he's 18 years old? So let's go and if you guys, one of you have contact information with him, I know you know Amanda, see if she will get him to run as PCP and get a couple of his buddies to run for PCPs, and think how cool that would be if we could have like half a dozen of these, 18-year-olds to 20-year-olds running as PCPs. That would be so cool, and I think that they would dig it too. I would bet you there are people out there who would do that in a heartbeat, who are in that age bracket.
We need representatives. We need to find out how to reach those people.
He works for you?
He works for me, and he's brilliant. And the real sad part is, I told Michael, I said, I would really love to have him speak at our Republican Party. I said, and his mother and his stepdad. They're 2 people, his stepdad and I won't say his name online, but he's 19 now, but they're both on city council, and their mother is on a school board.
Right.
And what an example of a family that should be raised up to a higher level. And by the way, 2 of them have cell forms that are sitting there, already been vetted by their own people in their community, because they've been elected for some pretty high positions in their community.
Well, Amanda and Ivan are now they're going to be on the ballot. I turned in their forms today, and they were accepted.
It's sad that, what the hell is he doing? Is he running background checks on these people before they are a part of the party, or finding out if they go to a church, or what is he trying to do?
Well, he doesn't ask any. That's the thing, Denesa. He's not asking anything on his form that's not on the regular form. I don't know what they say when they mean vetting, because they're really not describing what they're saying when they mean vetting. So I myself, when I've vetted people, that means I sit their ass down in front of me at a desk, and I usually ask them a few questions about their past. And after they leave, I go check them out to make sure they didn't lie to me, right? Isn't that vetting people right there?
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
It's like, give me your resume.
Give me your resume.
Experiences. Let's see if you have somebody that I can call and verify that you actually worked there and you didn't suck. That's all I ask.
I just get to know people. Like, I don't just run down the street handing out PCP forms. That's like ridiculous. Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like, Rick, like I just met you, like a year ago, and like got to know you. I think someone might have been your wife, and invited me and Perry to the one of your meetups, one of your
that's when you were
Hauser
running for
Citizen
commissioner.
Patrol. Yep. So we came on down and like, hey, what an example of a great meeting. Like you guys really didn't know us. Perry gave you guys a fake name and you allowed us to talk and be like, you didn't make us feel weird. And it was great. You involved us in your meeting. That was awesome. So, but anyways, that's how I met
We
you.
gave
And
you
it's like,
coffee
that's
and
vetting.
cookies.
What's that? I ate all your
We
cookies.
gave you coffee and cookies.
You did. I drank so much coffee.
We don't
well,
get
It was.
cookies. We don't
I
get
know,
cookies.
right? Something that basic, but no, it was cool. And like, I got to know Rick and his wife. I'd seen you guys, typing stuff on the internet here and there, but it's like, then, if you have a good read, which I think all of us do on people, that's vetting, like Rick's here and he's involved in a volunteer organization. I mean, it's already vetting him. That organization has already vetted him.
Yeah, it's silly. Any of us, they want to vet me. They've only known me for 20 years. What the hell, man?
You've only poured your heart out every week on radio or podcast
no
for the
shit,
past,
man. You guys,
forever.
we need to vet you, Rob. You need to go screw yourself, you retard. Oh, so let me tell you what's been going on. This is the coolest
thing.
Retard. I
gosh.
can say that now. Trump is president. Fuck them all.
You can't say retard on the air.
Hey man. I don't care who they are.
This show's too woke.
This show is way too woke. But so I've been out since getting those petition signatures, and since I've gotten these PCP forms, I have gotten rid of them. And there's people who are going to get them back to me next week because they signed up, and one of them got one back to me already. And it's the guy who's the manager of the Best Western Hotel. He's going to be one of the PCPs. He's an old buddy of mine. But the thing is I've been running into old friends of mine who some of them actually have already been PCPs on the Republican board, and we're getting them to come back. And guess what? They're pissed off that this is going on. So I don't know if the people who are on Michael Brainerd's side, and I hate to pick sides, but that's where we're at. I mean, we're in a courtroom and there's two sides, and you can't be on the fence in this shit. You got to be on one side or the other. And I know which side I'm on. I'm on the side of the people, because the people should have the authority over this party. And that's what we're working for. And the people we're working against want to keep people out of the party. This is plain and simple. And I'm going to have a good time, because it's my goal now to start going back to precinct voting. And you start by creating as many people who want to run for getting as many people to run for office as PCPs. That's what we got to do. And that's our goal, man. That should be our goal. Rick, you know a bunch of people. You know good Republicans.
Yes.
Marty, you've got a few friends, don't you?
Yeah, next
Put
question.
on the spot.
Next question.
Jeez.
Maybe we should have.
He didn't get 3 votes to be PCP.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
I bet you did, Marty. I bet you did.
I didn't mean to expose you.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have a mix or something, kind of like the Democratic Party. They meet at Coney Station or something and have drinks and happy hour and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, we wouldn't even have to do it. And we wouldn't even have to do it as official Republican stuff. Just say, hey, like
we did it all last month.
Library, just say, hey, everybody, let's meet up at Bar X, and we'll have like appetizers and drinks and maybe some live music, or maybe a DJ or something, and just have a mixer. Have fun.
We're allowed back at that one bar that we went to as the conservative group. That was in North Bend, and I cannot.
It was the Humboldt Club. I really like the
Humboldt Club. I like that place. I think we should go back to that if we have another meeting, because
we did that. We were at Denny's. We had a couple of these, and we just did them spur of the moment. I asked people in a group chat, like, where do you guys want to meet? What town? Let's do a North town and then do a South town, and it was like, that's what this should be like.
Right.
But it can't always be the same people. The whole point of it is like we want to meet new people. That's what we got to do. So.
Not that I don't like. It's not like I don't like hanging out with you guys. I'm just saying we need to get more people involved, as opposed to the 5 of us who keep going. We need to get more people involved. Well, let's go out and have some drinks about that. There
Well,
we go.
Marty, if you would get some better friends, we wouldn't be having this problem. Stop hanging around us because we're low lives. You should know that by now. I mean, read the papers. Hello.
When I get 2 or more, I'll let you
Phil's
know.
comment. I'm dead. I'm fucking dead.
What? I keep rolling on the floor.
Oh man!
Oh shit!
I'm dead. I gotta go to bed.
Before we get into the
you put it up the screen. Oh, sorry. We have this little. Anybody who's watching, we have this little window next to us where we can read the incoming comments before Rob puts them on the screen. Give him a Shirley Temple. Oh my god.
Hey,
Yeah.
We're laughing with you, Michael.
We're laughing
Yeah.
with you. We're laughing with you, damn it.
Somebody spiked his worm Ovaltine.
So if
Hey,
you want,
this guy's a great guy. He's coming to my house here, I think next week, to cut some trees.
Yeah.
that's good. That's a good thing. He's badass at cutting trees. The guy,
And he's going to be on the ballot for PCP because I turned in his form today.
Woo! Wow.
Woo! All right. So did well, I guess we can't find out. Did Matt Hamilton turn in his? Do you know?
I have no idea.
I was just wondering. He was here earlier. He was with us, and I was going to ask him if he had happened to turn his in because we're recommending everyone. You know that.
Well, you can see it. So at the end of every day, normally the clerk's office will upload all the forms that were filed for that day. So you didn't do it today because we kept her late because we came at the last minute with like a whole stack of forms. So sorry, guys, but you know.
That's a problem, James. You got more identities than Sal Carruthers. We're gonna have to send you away.
Wait
Are
a minute.
we
Who says
changing
he's
the
not,
culture of Coos County? I think so.
I don't know. So if you want to get your trees cut because they're causing a liability, their branches are hanging over your house, they're hanging over the eaves, they're hanging over your neighbor's car. I think Marty has that problem. Marty has a shitload of trees. You need to get 3H Tree Service out to your house, Marty, and cut down those damn trees before your neighbor sues you because you're allowing this stuff to go on. I don't know. What's happening, Marty? Get 3H Tree Service out there.
I have recommended it to my neighbors, and they did use 3H Tree Service. So
hey.
You know,
oh well, then I'll shut the hell up.
This show works.
I don't want to cut down any more trees at my house because my wife's going, we got to take that tree down. And I'm like, no, that's why we have the place. I like the big trees. But
you've got the like you got a total Oregon driveway. That was what I always liked about Oregon. It was like you just got just enough room for your Bronco. If you drive a Bronco
through my driveway,
yeah,
just enough gap in the trees that I can get the Prius through. So long
it's
as
like a rebirthing ceremony to drive down your
Prius, Bronco, same thing.
Yeah,
it always was for me. Yeah. Tom and Gigs. Have you guys been to Tom and Gigs lately? They got some really cool stuff out there.
Love that place.
I love
not
that
only
place.
do they fix cars, but they have remote control cars as well.
So I was bitching about my fan motor. To go back to Michaela, I wanted to show her. See, I say that about myself too. I was bitching because I do that. And I was bitching about my motor on my fan, and my wife. Yeah. Oh, I know. I'm trying to dig out. You see how that works? See how I came back around to that? And so my wife had to borrow my car because Marty, I couldn't fit our pop-up tent in his Prius. Marty, you need a bigger car. You need to cut down trees and get a bigger car. And so she had to borrow my car, and she turned it on. She came back. She goes, "What the hell are you talking about with the fan? I didn't hear nothing. I didn't hear a thing." So, it's like, I don't know whether to take it to Tom and Gigs, because I still hear it. It's like it starts up really rough, but she says, "No, you're imagining things. The car's a Nissan. It just sounds like shit." And I'm like, okay.
Well, there you go.
She's just so badass. You know what I mean? She just, and well, what can I say? So I go to Tom and Gigs when I have that problem, and you can reach them at 341-888-4660. They're at 135 South Shoneman in the Empire neighborhood, right behind the car wash. And if you know where the Empire neighborhood is, you know where the car wash is.
Hold on. I thought the area code for Oregon was 541. So that'd be 541-888-4660.
541.
That's the soda translation.
Yeah.
You're right.
I think that's the next advertisement.
That's probably the next advertisement. 541-888-4660. I apologize for that. That does burn so bad. Ouch. Let's see. They got all kinds of neat things. I think Chris could use this. Chris, we're getting this for you for Christmas. This is Catch Surf. It's an RC surfer.
I've never, ever seen something like that in my life. Interesting.
Well, think about this. They sell tannerite, and we can go out to the Mingus Park with the Catch Surf here.
Driver. Oh, my goodness.
Okay. So they got these cars, really cool RC cars. They're like the largest shop on the South Coast in Oregon here. They've got everything. The store is just packed full of great stuff. And I highly recommend you get out there. This is it. Tom and Gigs, lift kits, and performance accessories. And that guy right there, he knows everything about these parts. Really good. Really good. And they got planes. They got helicopters. Hey. Those are very cool. There's the tannerite. And you must be 18 years or older to purchase tannerite. And you will be asked for an ID. I get asked for an ID just showing up, and then they send me away. We go, "Rob, we know who you are." Go away.
How do they know between 18 and 21 who's responsible?
Well, that's what I've always asked. Why is it 18 for some things and 21 for another? And I'll give you an example. Herbal Choices. If you're going to Herbal Choices, you have to be 21. To buy tannerite, you have to be 18. Now, that's just weird. 18 for tannerite and 21 for Herbal Choices. And this is the weirdest commercial for any industry I've ever seen. I'm telling you, I'm starting something new. This is Joe Rogan.
I'm laughing at Raines' comment.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She's making fun of me. Mild. Oh geez. Oh my goodness. She was busting me for dropping an F-bomb earlier. I'm sorry, guys. I get excited.
Get the Jesus out. Where's the Jesus the figure?
Yep.
Yeah. Come on, be more like Jesus. Now Charlie's got
Jesus.
Yeah.
Someone asked me if that was Canal Reeves. And I said, no.
Keanu Reeves.
Is it Canal? Say that again.
Good old Canal Reeves, my favorite.
Canal Reeves, damn it. Whatever the hell his name is.
Oh, get the Jesus out. Get the Jesus out.
Okay, get the Jesus out. So Herbal Choices. If you need to go
for a
out
good time, drink some soda.
And get some soda, because let me tell you, it's absolutely incredible stuff. Herbalchoices.com if you want to find out more. And you must be 21 years or older. We still haven't figured out why tannerite is 18 or older, but pot is 21.
Isn't that crazy though? So like literally somebody just makes up
locations.
That's an arbitrary rule. Yeah. Charleston, Coos Bay, Bandon, Reedsport, and North Bend. All of your favorites.
They're all over the place.
They are all over the place.
You can go there to get your cannabis, but you can't get tannerite. But you'd be old enough for it.
Okay, what about guns? What age is guns?
Right now it's 18.
So
what if you make? They can do younger, right? If it's like a hunting rifle.
Yeah.
You probably think about
it's 18. Yeah, I think it's 18. Or is it?
What if you make your own? What if you don't serialize it?
Whatever age you don't
You
get
can't.
caught. I mean,
Nobody of any age is supposed to do that anymore. But
when I was a kid, we could get a rifle and our Captain Crunch as a prize. I mean, what's the deal?
What's the deal?
You can get lowers in your cereal. I got a trigger today.
That would be so cool. I love Captain Crunch. That would you could have Captain Crunch and get a lower. Look, you get different barrels each week.
How about a cap gun? Remember the cap guns?
Oh yeah.
Rick, are you?
Rick, what are you doing?
Are
man?
you regretting your decision to join this podcast today?
No, not at all.
He gets a front row seat. He can watch us make buffoons of ourselves and go, "Yeah, you know what? It's great. I'm not them."
Can I just give a shout out to Rick for a second? Like, what other person in the community would have filed to run for commissioner and on his first day joined a podcast, and he's there. Anybody commenting could ask him any question, he'd answer it. He's answering anything from us. I mean, like seriously, this is what we need, people. This is awesome.
Oh, this is totally
we need
awesome.
more people like that.
I totally agree with that. But that's the problem, Chris. People are afraid of people like that because, he's not professional enough because he answers the questions. It's like Trump, he says things that are mean and kind of shocking, and we don't want him around because his words are pointy. It might put out someone's eye, and it's
we will unafraid them.
We will unafraid them. And
Yes.
and Rick's certainly nothing. Trump, you know what I mean? There's very few people who just say things the way Trump says it. I don't know.
For sure. But I see nothing wrong with speaking your mind.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know.
A heartbeat.
Up, get the Jesus out.
Exactly.
There you go, Rick.
Yeah,
Firearms
Exactly.
So
regularly scheduled advertisements.
when you're at the commissioners meeting, when you win, and John Sweet makes some stupid ass movement or decision, you just play that over again. You don't know what the fuck you're doing.
John Sweet's the guy who flipped off a room full of constituents and citizens trying to advocate progress and flip them off. And our hero Jeremy said, what triggered it? This is why people don't trust you. Those infinite. We should make memes out of that. Where's our meme maker?
Yeah.
Yep.
But that's real.
Oh, Lenny, you're hilarious. What did I miss? That's funny.
Everything.
Guys, we got to go back 3 hours and redo this, okay? Just to let you know, Lenny needs to catch up here.
Do you know how many times I've told people I'm only going to be on here for a half an hour? I'm at somebody else's house. I was at a dinner. This is crazy. I'm in someone's guest room. Luckily, I have very nice friends.
They're sitting in the living room going, is he going to leave yet? I don't know.
Yeah,
He's your friend.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. The actual truth to that is pretty much it.
Better than an hour and a half of recording with no microphones. So we're improving slightly over time.
We are improving slightly. So that was the Band and Gun Club. They're really great. Go check them out at bandandgunclub.com and TaigaSportsPark.org. And of course, this group here, Coos County Neighborhood Watch. Chris, you've been making some really cool videos. That one you guys made, you and Sam made that one of the squatter who kept coming back to the house. That was so damn funny. The way you put the music to it and shit. I don't know if you did that or Sam did that, but that was so cool.
Sam did. Yeah, that was yep. And now the lady's selling the house, which is great because they haven't done anything with it for 20 years. So she's finally selling it so somebody can start using it, which is the best way to get rid of squatters is to actually use the freaking house.
Yep.
Or rent it out, So, yep, we set up cameras in there and that worked. That was a success. We've had a couple of those. Hey, in Bandon, the Old Town, is it the Old Town Bar and Grill or something like that? Someone robbed them. Like, listen to this. This is the best advertisement for this group here. Somebody robbed them. Somebody grabbed the cash bags from behind the counter, and they caught it on film. And within minutes, maybe half an hour, the owner posts it online on a group, and I just happened to flip open my phone. I took a break and was scrolling. I see it. I shared it to this group, shared their post to this group, and within like literally a minute, someone had ID'd that suspect, and I looked up the person's pictures and saw that the tattoos matched. Luckily, there were like visible markings. The tattoos matched the person's photo. I sent that off to the owner. All this happened probably less than an hour from the person stealing the stuff, and they had a name. And yep, I don't know the rest of the story because I don't want to get in, but that they had their name, they had their suspect, and that's pretty cool. Like that's what that's about. So
cool. That is very cool.
That's a cool network. There's a lot of people in that group, and they check that page often. So.
I'm always turning in Marty. I'm always, watch out for that Marty guy. Yeah, he's down the street waving.
He looks like everyone. He's always hanging out
he's yelling at people.
Yeah.
No wind turbines. Save the whales. It's freaking crazy, man.
Trying to steal everyone's freaking signatures.
Yeah. And he does the Trump dance too.
So someone was asking us when we were petitioning. He does do a Trump dance. That video got around everywhere. That was really cool. Now I forgot what. The petition. So there were people who were asking about the Coos County Most Wanted website, and it was cool that they were talking to us about it, and they didn't know who we were, and it was like, wow, this is cool that there are people referring to this website or this Facebook page is really what it is. But they talked about the website that kind of complements this page. And
I was watching a interview with the Chief of Police, and they mentioned this Facebook group, and like people were talking about how they use it. I mean, it's a thing. It's a pretty big network of people. Like anytime I see on Facebook that someone's trying to identify somebody, I almost always share it to this page or make sure that it's on that page. And there's also a private group chat for a lot of the people who are most active in this page. That's a good resource as well. So if your car gets stolen or you got somebody on surveillance footage, this is your best spot. If you post it to one of the other groups, you might get some hits, but these people are pretty darn good at identifying.
They're diehards, and they're actually out on the streets. I know these people. I'm one of them, and I also go out on patrol when I can. And I've chased a couple out. It was funny. I the other night I had a really fun time with one of the ones down the street. I went down there when he was just pulling up with his bicycle, and he was starting to unpack his backpack. And and it's about 11 o'clock at night. It was pitch black, and I get about 6 inches from his face and go, "Hey, how's it going, man?"
Oh boy.
They love that. They love that stuff. But he didn't stay around too long. So today he showed up again, and I pulled around in my car, and I just looked at him, and I saw he recognized me. He got on his bike and he took off immediately. It was like, oh, see there, it works. And he's one of our local, stash and grab at the local store kind of stuff,
Oh yeah, we always tell people to put up like solar lights that go off with motion, stuff like that. And they don't like people, they don't like interaction. So generally that gets rid of them. But
Amanda she's bitching, damn it. She's bitching about I'm too old to follow this late bitch. What
is she just getting
matter with you, woman?
This whole time?
I'm sorry. Did I just lose it again? No, I'm just kidding, Amanda. It is too late, and I'm like, Chris, you keep keeping us up. He says I'm going to come on here for like 30 minutes, and then 3 hours later,
it's me,
like, dude.
Yeah,
well,
I'm getting blamed for everything this week.
I know.
He's waiting for his host to go to bed so he can let himself out.
There you go.
We don't have to drink. We just wait till we can't hardly stay awake.
I'm just gonna sleep here tonight.
Yeah, that's all right.
You've already rolled off your chair.
Oh, they'll love that.
Does the host actually know you're still in the house, by the way, or did you just
Yeah.
like
I'm pretty
sneak into
sure.
an unused room? And...
I'm at the Holmans. So, yeah. They're good
Regina's
people.
reporting you on Coos County Neighborhood Watch right now. There's a guy in my house. He's got a
Missing
beard.
person. Oh, there you go. I've got an intruder. I can
There's
hear him.
somebody
He's in the
my
other room.
house.
I'm afraid to go in. I actually was going to do the podcast from the gun room. That would have been funny.
That'd have been funny.
He was like, open the safe. Anyways, we don't have guns here.
Well, guys, I'm going to end on this note here. It's really sad that we lost one of the greats, and I'm really glad that I got you guys here. Rick, thank you for running for office. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's wonderful. And Chris, thank you for sticking in with this battle against the evildoers over in the Republican Party. It was I totally got it. It was like you, me, and Denesa were just really riding on the same tracks. We got to go in. We got to get these precincts committee people in there, and it's we're not asking for people who are loyal to any one side. We're asking for average Republicans who want to get involved, who want to listen to the different arguments and debates with civility, and come to the conclusion when they get to vote as PCPs. And we'd be represented in the county. We'd all be represented. Rick, you got anything to say before you go?
I just want to say thanks for having me on, and hopefully we can bring this one home.
All right. Chris, you got anything to say?
I'm out of here, man. I appreciate it. I love you guys. I mean that. We lost a good one this week, a real good one, but he lives on.
Yeah.
He lives on through us. So,
yeah, I truly believe that. Thank you, Chris. Janessa, anything you'd like to say?
More Jesus. More Jesus. Be more like Jesus, and maybe we wouldn't be in this position right now. And maybe we can. I think we're getting to the point we've shifted through. We kind of know where the evil is, and we know who the truth tellers are. So, and this guy we lost is one of the truth tellers, and we'll miss him deeply.
No. Rain, I agree with you. It's just so damn sad. Marty, you have anything you want to say?
Well, I can't follow that up. So what I'm going to say is don't forget that every Wednesday we're going to be at the Napa Auto Parts store in Bandon from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And we'll be out in front and we'll be taking signatures for Stop the Tolls, Recall Kotek, End Vote by Mail. If you want to fill out an SEL 105 and become a precinct committee person, we've got that too. You want to sign up to be a volunteer or just stay in the loop? Hey, we'll take your email address and can keep you informed on what's going on. And then on Thursday, we'll be in Coos Bay, right by the Best Western, which is at what? Central and 101? I forget the cross street.
No, it's
anyway.
Market. It's East Market Street and Highway 101 south.
Yeah, it's right across the street from the Wells Fargo and kitty corner from the Tioga. It's we're going to be there Thursday from 10 to 2, and you'll see us because we'll have the tent up, and well, you'll see us and like, oh, those guys.
Yeah.
And so come by. We can sign a bunch of stuff. You can get an SEL 105, become a PCP. You can become a volunteer, or you can just stop by and say hi. So. That's about all I have to say.
Rain says, keep on kicking ass. We will. I intend to. I like kicking ass. It's a fun thing to do. And that's what Charlie Kirk was doing. He was kicking ass, and we're going to continue that whole policy. We're not going to take any more, and we're not going to be bullied or cowed down or intimidated or and nobody's going to make us afraid. We're going to stand up, and we're going to continue to do this, and we're going to continue to fight. And we plan on being out at both of those places, Napa on Wednesday, 10 to 2, and at the Best Western and from 10 to 2. They have nothing to do with the petition. They're just allowing us to use their parking lot, and we want to thank them for that. So don't give them any trouble. They're it's like the kids they allow to wash the cars and all the other stuff there. They're just being fair, and I want to thank them for doing that. And all of you people who came and signed, yes, we're going to be doing this, and hopefully we'll be able to repeat it a couple of weeks in a row. That'd probably be best, I think, Marty, if we actually did that, and then people would go, oh, hey, they're going to be here, like the fruit farmers, we like Mexican fruit farmers, but we're selling freedom.
Yeah, and the thing is, if people would like to join us, or if they'd like to kick in and say, well, I can do this from, I can come and help out, then, maybe we could take a day off once in a while. Or maybe they could say, hey, I could set something up in Myrtle Point, or I could set something up in Coquille, because somebody set something up at Uncle Randy's on, what was it, Friday nights?
Tonight. She was out there tonight from 4 to 6.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, so it doesn't just have to be us. I mean, trust me. I mean, if we had more people doing this, we wouldn't be. We'd be, I don't know, mowing my lawn or taking care of my foster cat. I don't know, but
cutting your trees.
Cutting your trees, damn it. Get a bigger truck.
Or shooing people away from cutting down my trees. Go cut my neighbor's trees. Don't cut my trees.
Oregon Outlaw says morality, freedom, liberty. Have a good night, everyone. Have a good night, everyone. And as I always say, until next time, folks, I'll see you all on Monday. I'm going to be following up on whatever happens this weekend. And I plan on having a guest, hopefully on Monday as well, someone who's going to update us on things that happened in the legislature. And I'm trying to get Badge, boy, I can't think of her name. It doesn't matter. She's the one who's up in Portland filming Antifa. Badger.
Badger Mom.
Badger Mom. That's it. Badger Mom. I don't know why I couldn't remember that. I guess I had too much soda. And so hopefully I'll be interviewing her, and I'll have that on next week. And we have a lot of people who want to go on the show. It was really cool. I saw Mark Thielman and his lovely lady at the Oregon Gathering of Eagles. And he says, man, I sure did take a lot of grief for going on your show. And of course he wants to come back on again. And that was really cool. I'm glad when people take a lot of grief for coming on my show and are still willing to come back on. It was like Dave Brown. He says, I don't care. I'm going to go talk to these people. I don't care. That's cool. So until next time, folks, carry on, Coos County.